Hello. Let me make sure this thing. Aha! It did work. What the fuck was that? The XD nuzzles pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Huh. It's alright. I feel like it didn't. I feel like it didn't play well enough because there was music. So let me redo that one for you, Kirito. Also, hi everybody. Hi Emrys. Hi. Hello Cheese. Hi Neely.
Silver_PG joined the fairy ring for 7 months.
Thank you, Silver. You didn't need to. I really need to put on the subscriber thingy, resubscribers as well, because I feel like for some reason it's not showing up. I need to fix that. But thank you guys so much. You really don't have to, and I really appreciate it. Okay, where is it? Where's Rar? Where's Rar? Because I feel like you didn't get full appreciation of that one. Okay.
Hi. Extra nuzzles pounces on you. Ooh, you're so warm. Ooh.
You're welcome. Anyways, hi, hello, welcome in, guys. Thank you. Today we are doing some random games that I've wanted to. We've got some random games that I've been wanting to play for a while. So do I want egg? Ooh, can I have egg? 1 second, guys. I'm going to go and grab an egg. Yes, I would like it. I have an egg now. I have deviled egg. This is delightful. I've never been more charmed. I love my roommates. Anyways. I've got a couple free games today that I've been wanting to try out for a while. We're gonna see how many we get through. They're going to range from kind of goofy to eldritch horror to just kind of like existential horror to historical horror. Thought I might sway you for Borderlands earlier. Maybe, ooh, are you free tomorrow or Wednesday by chance? I think I'm free either of those days. We don't have to stream it if we don't want to, but I would love to play Borderlands with you again. But anyways, first on the docket today, we are going to be playing one called Dagon. It is a free cosmic horror game based off of H.P. Lovecraft mythos and story. Apparently it's very short. It's kind of point and click adventure. But it's one that has interested me in a while. Both. Ooh. Maybe tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow. I'm tapping my 2 fingers together. Maybe we should play Borderlands tomorrow? Tea? Fun to make, but definitely other forms of egg like more. Ooh! Nog that egg, Emrys. The eggs need to be nogged in this time of year, in the holy time of year that is eggnog season. But anyways, we are going to hop into Dagon to start, because we've got Dagon, How Fish is Made, Fever Meme, and Liquidators. We're probably going to go Dagon, then Fever Meme, then How Fish is Made, and Liquidators last. Otherwise, we'll save that for another day. Saying I want to nog an egg is way more fun than saying exactly. Nog those eggs. Father-daughter bonding. Exactly. I need to be the only half-absent, but not really absent father that I was always meant to be in my life. Alright, so if you guys are cool and ready, let's hop into things. Bunk bunk. And while that's loading up, I'm gonna slurp my egg. I love eggs. Let me turn that up just a little bit. Alright. So this is Dagon. I wasn't able to find all too much with trigger warnings, so I was just kind of given the base ones of Cosmic Eldritch Horrors. and potential jump scares, just because that's what you'll probably find. But let's see what we got. Alright, Dagon is a faithful interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along the plot.
Along the plot. This under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Well, that always bodes well. To hear that tonight I will be no more. Okay, during the game, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey, others reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Okay, what do we got? Oh ho ho! What are you? Woo! Hi, Jim! Lovecraft's letters. As to letters, my case is peculiar. I write such things exactly as easily and as rapidly as I would utter the same topics in conversation. Indeed, epistolary expression is with me largely replacing conversation, as my condition of nervous prostration becomes more and more acute. I cannot bear to talk much now, and am becoming as silent as the spectator himself. My loquacity extends itself on paper. H.P. Lovecraft to Reinhard Kleiner, December 23rd, 1917. Throughout his life, Lovecraft penned around 100,000 letters to his friends and fans, out of which about 10% survive to this day, but his tendency to endless correspondence was a relatively late growth. In youth, I scarcely did any letter writing. Thanking anybody for a present was so much of an ordeal that I would rather have written a 250-line pastoral or a 20-page treatise on the rings of Saturn. Lovecraft would often skip meals to afford postage. Collections of his correspondence have been published in various books, and selected letters can be found online. Some readers consider them his most important legacy. Oh, there's some details about the author's life that we are going to hope that this game kind of skips over. But at the end of the day, we cannot argue the fact that H.P. Lovecraft's legacy does live on in the horror genre, and in the creation of a new genre that was a lot more gritty and a lot more kind of gross. So one of the major things that H.P. Lovecraft, for better or worse, introduced into the horror genre is I was worried about it saying it was faithful to his source. Oh, gotcha. To be honest, I haven't read Dagon specifically. I've read a couple other of his works, but I haven't read that one specifically. I hope that they don't talk about his cat. But by the time that H.P. Lovecraft was writing, in history, the actual trend was gothic horror at the time. And gothic horror was very stale. It was very... The themes that it was exploring at the time were very different. There was a lot of, like, sexuality, fears about purity, sexuality, about scientific discovery. And the main topics of discussion were very stale. What H.P. Lovecraft introduced into the genre of horror was something that was a bit more gross and looked at science in a different way through the horror genre. And that's why his work still survives so much to this day, is because it was the introductory period of a new type of horror being introduced into literature at the time, and moving a shift from the very sterile gothic horror to the more lecky, gross, sludgy, cosmic horror. Yeah. A lot of fucked up guys. He was a very fucked up guy. It's kind of the thing of, like, it's interesting to look at his works through the lens of history and be like, okay, the guy was afraid of everything. And had very particular ideas about certain things. And I was putting it very lightly. H.P. Sludgy Lovecraft, exactly. I know that, Overly Sarcastic Productions does an absolutely wonderful deep dive into H.P. Lovecraft and the, essentially the themes and the ideas and the base concerns of his life that shaped a lot of his horror. So it is fun to take a look at the genre and change it and modify it to look at things while still understanding and, you know, I'm blanking on the word. Kind of like putting into context, but also understanding how wrong some of the basis of some of his concerns in the horror genre were. But anyways. I would like to show trivia upon finding them, yes. What are you, friend?
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Okay. Wasn't planning on that.
Think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
We're gonna update those. We're gonna update those trigger warnings. It is kind of a thing, like, I'm finding that it's hard to find, good trigger warnings for certain things without, playing the entire game through. Which is a little frustrating when you want to go into a game blind. Okay. Alright, any other...
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Okay. Alright, I'm not seeing any more... What are you? Aha! Morphine entered into use in the 19th century and was routinely administered to treat severe pain during the American Civil War and the World War I. It was also sold without restrictions until 1914. Morphine became more popular after the invention of hypodermic syringe around 1854. Friedrich Saturner, who first isolated the substance, originally named it morphium after Morpheus, the god associated with dreams. At the time when Dagon was published, morphine abuse known as soldier's disease already posed a big problem in the United States. I'm liking all the kind of like historical references and the trivia that's being introduced here to understand a little bit of the background. I gotta say, I do like that about this. It's hard to tell the difference between you reading something that's well written or you just talking. Oh, as a compliment, you just talk back. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I've noticed more recently, and it's an unfortunate side effect of certain happenstance in life, and also just being, it feels like a little bit busy, that I feel like sometimes my vocabulary and my my ability to express myself properly through words has been on a decline recently, so it does help to hear that, because I struggle to express sometimes the thoughts that I'm trying to get across. Maybe I just need to read more. There's also, perhaps just need to get back into doing more, like, writing for, study and things like that, maybe practicing essays, but it does help to hear that I'm expressing myself well enough that I don't sound like a complete fool. Yeah. I think it would be a good idea for me to get back into doing some more scholarly writing and doing essays and the like. At the very least, doing more reading.
It was in one of the
I would love
most
some book
open and least
recommendations.
frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Yeah. If I can find good audiobooks, I think that would be best, just because I need to do something with my hand and I need something that I can pause at any given point, just because of how I'd probably be reading during work. But I love a good book that I can read. I need to read more of the classics too.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
I feel like if I do anything wrong, I might miss something. I don't want to miss anything.
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
think Mike Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Ooh! I'll definitely check that out. I also want to check out more, like, gothic horror. I know that I've read all the basics, Frankenstein, Dracula, Carmilla. I'm missing the name of a couple others, but I'd like to get a little bit more into some more of the gothic horror. I also know that eventually I want to do House of Leaves, but I know that one you have to read it physically. You can't do an audiobook for that one. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. During World War... Ooh. Man. The Huns are so cool. One of the ways that they, I believe it was the Huns, one of the ways that they figured out that they could kind of store and cook meat was actually through friction. So what they would do is they would store meat, obviously packaged, on the back of their horses, and they would use the friction and the body heat of the horse to cook the meat. So that way they could have meals. Fact check me on that, but I think it was just their ingenuity and their ability to, especially when it came to their tactical genius, in freaking insane. The Huns are so cool. I think you're perfect for a library, Jamp. Alright. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for Germans in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated when the German Emperor Wilhelm II gave a speech to his troops on the 27th of July, 1900, before they embarked to China. Should you encounter the enemy, he will be defeated. No quarter will be given. Prisoners will not be taken. Whoever falls into your hands is forfeited. Just as 1,000 years ago, the Huns under the King Attila made a name for themselves, one that even today makes them seem mighty in history and legend, may the name German be affirmed by you in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever again dare to look cross-eyed at a German. The refusal to take prisoners was a clear breach of the laws and customs of war adopted during the First Hague Convention of 1899. Interesting. Alright.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone, in a small boat, with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Alright, any symbols, any fun facts? Nope. Alright.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Ooh. Moon. Alright.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Man, from experience, navigation is a lot tougher than people give it credit for.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Because, if you haven't had to ever do any navigation based off of a map, and especially in the ocean, it's kind of impossible for you to be able to get your perfect latitude and longitude and everything like that. But in modern map systems, you have to actually calculate based on your position. I think it's relative to either the equator or the North Pole. It's been a while since I've done land navigation. You have to calculate based on the pole of magnetic pole. You have to calculate the degree in order to get your map direction. You have to either plus or minus relative to your location to the equator and relative to your location on Earth, a plus or minus of the degrees on the compass to get the proper direction that you need to go. And then you need to do your pace marking, and then you need to when you're trying to figure out where you are where you need to go, you need to actually do the opposite. You need to plus or minus depending on what you did before. It's a lot of calculations that can get really, really difficult really quick. I do not miss land nav. What am I supposed to be touching? Haha. Anything cool?
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Don't remember much about the Huns from history classes, but like as violent as they were as conquerors, they often left the locals in charge. Yeah, exactly! What they would do is they would essentially reinstate leaders of the locals or put the locals in charge, so that way rather than having all of the power centralized in a specific place, which would have caused a lot of problems when it came to governance, they left power in the hands of local leaders. And actually, in a similar... what they would do is they would incorporate rather than essentially subjugate entirely, which also meant that they kind of left them to do what they needed to do other than paying their dues and other things like that. The French Empire promoted this sharing of a lot of knowledge and philosophy. Exactly. Sounds like a pretty good place if I were under rule. Why did they fall? To be honest, I don't know much about that. I need to do a little bit more looking into why the Huns fell. I know that they... no, that was Mongols. I think it was just eventually everything spread out too far, and they weren't able, because they didn't have consolidated power, because there are pros and cons to having, like, power in the hands of local leaders and then a larger government versus having everybody kind of subjugated under one and having a centralized government. And I think they had too much. There was too much land, too much to control, and eventually it just kind of like, because of how much back and forth would need to be done because of that, there was never any of that consolidated power, so probably a domino effect where something happened, they started to lose their hold on probably outer lands that they had grabbed onto, and then it was a trickle effect from there. That's my guess, but I would have to look further into that because I don't actually know how the Huns fell. Or at least the larger. With modern communication, it would definitely be a lot easier. I think so.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Ooh, vast reference. Is that a TMA reference? I think it definitely would have taken longer for them for their influence to fall if there had been modern communications, even if the radio had been invented by that point, because it is possible to do radio communications, obviously over long distances, but it's more kind of like a hopper system to a certain degree.
Its details I shall never know.
I wasn't in comms.
For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Squid. Okay, this seems like a problem. But not my problem. I'm gonna stare directly into your eye.
At last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
This is what I meant by squidgy.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished. For there was in the air, and in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish, and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain. Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
I can't remember if this was a Hun or a slight side tangent that has nothing to do with this. I can't remember if it was a Hun or a Mongol princess, but apparently there was one. There was a princess at some point that was such an excellent writer and fighter that what she would do is people would come and ask for her hand in marriage, and she would challenge them to, I think, either a writing or an archery competition, and if the person won, then they could be her fiance. If the dude lost, then she kept his horse. And she had so many horses because she was just so freaking skilled that it just, apparently she held a decent sphere of influence because, her father left a lot of, political power and influence in her hands. To the point where she did control she did control a region of the empire, but I'm fairly certain it's Han, but it might be Mongol. I'm not quite sure. If you want to do research and learn about stuff, you make me want to read books and take notes of histories. I'm glad that I inspired that because honestly, I think I just need to start doing research and deep dives into history again too, because to me, English and literature and history are so intertwined that you can't learn one without learning the other, and just there's so many fun things about history that you can really learn about, especially if you take a look at like cultures. Like obviously it's, for me, it's really like European history is very, very interesting in its own right. US history, just as a US resident, is very interesting in its own right, but sometimes it's a lot of fun to look at other cultures and other like smaller groups and stuff like that don't really get quite as studied on, just because there's so, or even just like niche groups within Europe and within the US and stuff like that, because there's so much interesting stuff and interesting things that you can learn about from just deep diving into things, and so much like so many references that you can start to get, especially when you look at like more niche cultures and niche groups and the history surrounding them. And just like, history is so fun, and there's so many interesting figures too. I love history.
There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight, save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Okay. I'm not seeing any more trivia, which is a little disappointing. Trivia! The origins of Dagon. Dagon seems to be inspired by Fishhead, a short novel by Irvin S. Cobb about an unnatural affinities between a hybrid idiot and the strange fish of an isolated lake. Supernatural horror in literature, H.P. Lovecraft. And Lovecraft's dream about a strange island emerging from the ocean and him crawling in the ooze that covered its surface. I dreamed the whole hideous crawl and can yet feel the ooze sucking me down. In defense of Dagon, H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft's interest in the topic stemmed from his aversion to fish and sea smells. In his own words, I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected to it since I was 2 years old, but I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me such a profound and lasting aversion to the sea and seafood. The Dweller in Darkness, Lovecraft, 1927. I wish to learn. I don't usually wish to learn a lot. Okay, maybe I should do some research on stuff. It's really fun when you find a piece of media and you're just like, okay, now I'm gonna do a deep dive based on that piece of media so that way I can understand a lot more about like the references and maybe the social history and the cultural history that surrounds it, so that way I can understand more about what's trying to be communicated. That's how I tend to do things. Like when I was playing South of Midnight, the rabbit hole that I went down into was so much fun. I don't like research but crave information in the style of history I want to know about the most. Etymology. I think that's the right word. History of words, creation. Oh, etymology is so much fun. I don't do quite as much research into that as I feel that I should, but I do admit that one of my favorite classes that I took in college was actually about like the study of language and its development, specifically English, just because it was an English course. I was an English major. Honestly, that's why like Overly Sarcastic Productions is definitely one to hit up. Because they do both history and they do literature deep dives. There's just putting on video essays about random subjects and just letting it play, one of the most fun things that you can do. I've turned away from video essays recently, and I think that's been to my detriment. I need to get back into video essays, because, love me a good just deep dive into anything. I love plants and learning about plants and how they interact. Ooh, that seems fun. Do you have any resources for anything like that by chance? I haven't done a lot of research into plants, and I feel like that has not helped my understanding of some things. Alright. But yeah, H.P. Lovecraft was afraid of everything, but very specifically fish, which is part of fish in the ocean, which was part of, I believe that he grew up either in a fishing town or near a coast. Ooh, fungi are so cool. The mycelial networks, insane. And did you know that actually, even though it's not the type of communication that we know about, yeah, we'll need to do more research on fungi. There's a lot of underwater fungi that we just don't have any information on and don't really know much about, just because we haven't done any research on underwater fungi and underwater mycelium. But forest floors, actually, you probably know about this, fangirl. But forest floors themselves, there's almost a neural network between all of the plants within a forest system, and there's this communication that happens underneath the ground, where the plants are almost talking to each other and sending warning signs and things like that we don't have we don't fully understand yet. But it's really, really neat to know that even though we cannot understand the communication, plants are able to form essentially an entire network of communication and are able to talk with one another. It's the biggest connection of anything. It's so freaking cool. Wish I could just know information with having to sift through mountains of misinformation or ambiguous stuff. That's fair. That is one of the things, to me, I find that kind of interesting, because it means that you have to take the due diligence to backtrack and to take a look at what you're consuming and what is being told to you. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but the entire thing of chocolate is healthy for you, that was an entire, what it was is it was actually it was misinformation, but it was a social experiment to see if people were able to set up a fake, like, scientific study and send it into the scientific magazines. Would it be fact-checked enough, or would they just publish it? And it was this entire thing of would people believe it if somebody slapped kind of a scientific label on it and put what seemed like credibility. And it went the way that their hypothesis anticipated it to go. People just kind of believed it. It was published in all of these big magazines, ranging from both scientific to, well, I think they faked a scientific magazine. You'll have to fact check me on this one a little bit more. But, actually, let me look it up right now. Chocolate healthy for you, social experiment. So it was essentially saying that eating chocolate could help you lose weight. And it was to expose how bad nutrition science gets disseminated into mainstream media. Let me put this link in here so that way you guys can check this out. You guys can fact check my source. So essentially what happened is that they published a finding in quotation marks, but stated it in a way where it was easily misconstrued and misinterpreted by journalists and by larger broad media sources. I'm just bad at Googling things because I feel like the questions I type in are straightforward and just want to answer my question, but really the research... Yeah, that's fair. It is kind of that thing of, like, what I like to do is I put in the question, I find the immediate answer, and then what I do is I try to find related scientific research or scientific studies or .org scientific articles about it. in order to try and see if things are lining up to what the immediate answer is. Yes, also checking their sources. A lot of times they will be forced to, when you find an article about something, they'll put their sources below, and you can go back and you can check out those sources. Even if you do it through Wikipedia, at the bottom of it is all of the sources that are required to be put. But I never even find the immediate answer sometimes. Yeah, that is kind of the frustrating thing, is sometimes is digging. But at the end of the day, it is that thing of, unfortunately, sometimes, in order to further our own understanding, we have to do the due diligence that it takes to find what can give us those answers. Which is time-consuming and sometimes makes you more frustrated than it would actually teach you anything, but in the end, once you find that information, to me, it makes me feel like so smart. I'm like, haha, I found this information. Look at me go.
As I crawled into the stranded boat,
Right.
I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
That is one of the things, though, with like how much information and how many things are just put on the internet constantly, is that we have an overwhelming amount of information, but little of it with any actual substance, that it does become harder and harder to parse through what is true, what is not, and how to find the immediate information that you need. Setting on my magic system, I just wanted to know how much organs typically weigh as a percentage of total body weight, and some of them I just couldn't find. Yeah. It's hard to find some of that sometimes. Yeah.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
Unfortunately, for some of that information, it might honestly be better to take a look at a local library and try to find old textbooks for things. It sucks, but you might find a little bit more luck going about it that way. Which obviously is taking time and effort out of your day, but...
Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
Well, that's just foul. I really want more textbook for stuff. Same. I'm kind of upset with myself because I ended up getting rid of a lot of my textbooks from when I was in college. And there's this one grammar and language textbook that I got rid of that I'm so mad that I didn't keep. But oh, I've probably missed so much trivia. Darn it. Volcanic eruptions sometimes result in the creation of islands. Most of them are transient and erode after some time, but some prove permanent. Floating pumice porous rock created when superheated pressurized rock is ejected from a volcano can move across long distances and transport barnacles and macroalgae that cling to it. In 2001, rafts of pumice created during the eruption of volcanoes near Tonga, Polynesia, eventually reached Australia. So that's people who might know. Yeah. Honestly, human reference and just being like, hey, I'm trying to find this information, where should I go? Just throwing it out either on a forum or talking to real people in real life sometimes is your best bet for finding things more efficiently if you're not able to find it on the internet. Sometimes we don't value as much the power of just human communication.
Which lay upon its side and
I know I do.
shade as the sun moved
Which
across the heavens.
definitely does me a disservice.
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Tentacles.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea.
I like the narrator on this. Okay. Any trivia, any good information before we head out? I'm not seeing anything. Okay. I might come back to this after.
Morning, I found the soil
Try to
dry
find
enough
any
walk
missing
along with
trivia.
ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Alright. Any cool facts, Daddy-o? No? Alright. Out into the nothing.
All day I forged
Ooh.
steadily westward, guided by a
Hello.
faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
Hummock? I don't think I've heard that word before. That's a new one. I'm guessing a hummock is kind of like a hill, but I wonder if it's specifically, if it's an outdated term, or if it's something else. Ah, alright. I don't particularly like how often people say just look up stuff yourself instead of asking. Like, it's fine if you can answer the question, then I'll try other sources and look it up, but if you can help. Yeah, I think, especially when it comes to college, it's like there is a certain level of like self-sufficiency that it's important to learn when it comes to doing your own research and the like, but especially if you're looking for a starting point in order to find information, I find it a big disservice to be like, oh, you should just look it up. I'm not going to tell you. It's like at least give someone a starting point of where to go. Because if they're asking for information to that point, it means that they're trying to look for a
That
starting
night,
point.
I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Alright. The Horrors of the Ocean. The creator of the Cthulhu mythos and the fictional underwater city of Relay was convinced that life could not exist at the bottom of the ocean because the water pressure would make it uninhabitable. Today we know that the darkest depths of the ocean are home to many peculiar organisms. Blobfish. The deepest dwelling fish we have discovered so far, the Mariana snailfish, can live about 8,000 meters, more than 26,000 feet, below the ocean surface, in never-ending darkness and at hellishly crushing pressures, hundreds of times stronger than those found at sea level. Upon glancing at the modern photos of deep-sea creatures, such as the anglerfish, the fangtooth or the viperfish, and their truly Lovecraftian characteristics, it's hard not to find some irony in this. Yeah, I think
By the fourth evening,
it's very much a cultural thing to a certain degree, because in American culture, American and European culture, there's such an expectation of individualism and such a terror of essentially the people around you that has been instilled, due to obviously like major tragedies through there's an inherent separation. I'm looking at this. You have to understand that I'm looking through this mostly through an American viewpoint because that's the culture that I grew up in. There's very much a there's a culture of individualism, of otherness, of kind of like putting and focusing and putting a higher value on the groups that you associate yourself with rather than being in a group, rather than the melting pot kind of scenario sometimes that is promoted. And it leads to essentially this kind of unwillingness to talk to others. And this idea of, especially with the pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality where you need to figure things out by yourself, even the pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing was a fallacy. You can't pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's physically impossible. But it's obviously there are groups and there are communities and everything like that in pockets in America where it is very communal. It is very stone soup-esque, where we'll communicate, we'll take care of each other and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the wider cultural basis of American ideals, it seems, is very individualistic, which leads to a larger, first of all, inability to ask questions and consider perspectives outside of one's own, And second of all, an inability to talk to others, and third of all, a high expectation of people figuring things out on their own. Yeah, it was telling miners essentially there's nothing we can do for you. You're going to die. But
An intervening
yeah.
valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
But it's interesting culturally that the focus on individualism and self-sufficiency and self-growth has led to these wider ramifications when it comes to communication and community within a culture. When you look at other cultures that are more community-based, more take care of everybody, more it takes a village, and their abilities to communicate, how they approach things, it's interesting to take a look at.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Okay.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
That's kind of far speaking. That is a good thing to have. I'm weird. I've got kind of the mom friend override, where if somebody else needs help, I'll do it, or if I'm put in front of a group of people, I won't feel the fear of something until about halfway through. But mostly I'm not too bothered with public speaking unless it's me standing up for myself and saying that, hey, I asked for no fries. Or I asked for fries. It's like, it's very specific conditions that I'm willing to do public speaking. Yeah, it is definitely one of those very interesting things, is why is that such a large fear to stand? I think it's very much, it's part of the fear of making oneself known, and also leaving oneself open to messing up and group judgment and ridicule.
But ere the
It's a,
waning and
I believe it's more of a
fantastic
social
Oedipus
thing at the end of the
moon had
day.
risen far above the eastern plain.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more. Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
That is one of the things that they recommend when you're in a desert, is sleep during the day, travel by night.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Alright, Haha, you. The loner. Contrary to popular opinion, Lovecraft was not an ever-frowning, eccentric, grumpy loner. He considered himself to be a person who appreciated humor. Moreover, he would often meet with friends in his apartment or at various cafes in Brooklyn and Manhattan. At times his social life was so intensive, his work would suffer for months. There was a point when he finally decided he needed to put an end to daily meetings and loitering in New York cafeterias, and resorted to hiding at home and reading with the main room light turned off, pretending he wasn't there whenever a friend knocked on his door. He also had another method of deterring his guest, which involved greeting them in a bathrobe with an unmade bed visible in the background and piles of papers scattered across the floor. Honestly, mood. Same event, tables close to each other, it was the right place, right time. Oh god. A funny story about talking to the right place, right time type of thing without... So, I feel like I can talk about it now. It's, I'm actually out now. But when I first joined the military, I was in the National Guard, and so we would do monthly drills before I went off to basic training. I had not fully learned the rank structure when there was this gathering. It was like this meeting thing on women and leadership in the military, and for some reason our National Guard group was invited to come along to kind of attend all of the presentations and to kind of join the meet and greet, which was a bold thing to do with a bunch of people who were never sent to basic training, but I digress. And I was sat down at a table with a bunch of people, with a bunch of ranks that I didn't quite know yet past sergeant. I knew that a couple of them were officers because they had different shapes, but I did not know what type of officers they were or the rank structure. And we were all sitting together at a table. We were separated into groups, and they were like, okay, we need you to do this. It was some sort of like making a list or a Venn diagram or something like that. And they're like, okay, so pick a leader for your group or pick someone to write, to scribe, and get started, and we'll reconvene in 10 minutes. And for some reason, everyone at the table was silent and was kind of waiting and looking at this one guy. But no one would start the conversation, and no one was taking initiative to start on what we were supposed to be doing. So I sat up, and I was like, okay, how do we want to do this? I can scribe. Do we want to go around in a circle and talk about this and do everything like that? And everybody kind of looked over at this one guy, and the guy went, okay, and kind of let me lead the entire thing. And so we finished up and everything like that. And the guy later turned to me and was like, hey, when you're done with basic training, I'd like to, it'd be interesting to see you, if you ever, want to, in my office or something like that. I don't remember exactly what that conversation was, but I got told later that apparently I had been sitting with a full bird colonel and had just decided to take charge of the entire thing, and the guy was so impressed he gave me his card. So sometimes just taking the jump and taking the initiative can do a lot for you. It gave me a decent amount of respect, and it never really followed through with seeing the colonel again, but it was just one of those things that I was like, oh, maybe I should have kept my mouth shut, but I got more out of not doing so. I've done some weird shit. I can definitely see being easier to travel in colder weather, especially with a clear sky, would probably be.
Source of vague horror to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
It's actually, I think it's more of a conservation of water and hydration thing than it is a clear sky type thing. Because when you're traveling at night, due to it being cooler and due to there being less heat on you, meaning less sweating, you are able to conserve a lot more water while you're walking around, which means that you're less likely to succumb to dehydration. Or at least it's going to take longer for you to reach that point.
Whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine. I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Guys, it's staring back at me.
Through
I don't like the way it's looking at me.
Curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
I've never actually read Paradise Lost. I've gotten summaries of it, but I've never actually read it, and now I really want to read it, because there's a lot of references to it, especially in Gothic literature, that I think I miss sometimes, because even though I have a summary of it, I've only ever read passages of it for English classes.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky,
But I'd like to do research on why people are scared of pursuing
the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Honestly, I'd check out and do research on that, because honestly, socially, that's such an interesting thing of why are we so afraid to speak in front of a group of our peers? Just saying with clear sky visibility from the dark wouldn't be a concern to worry about. Yeah. As often as people don't like to stand out, it's fairly true that what they say about just do stuff with confidence. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you act like... Exactly! There have been so many social experiments of people being able to just rob places blind by walking in and acting like they know, like they're supposed to be there, like they know what they're doing, like they're in charge, and like they're supposed to be taking the stuff that they're taking. It's so funny. People will not question you if you put on an air of confidence and control. At least, not entirely. Alright, any fun little tidbits? Not seeing any.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent.
Oh, another thing to also be consider with this is that before the invention of like bright lights, city lights, things like that, people were more able to navigate by starlight because the stars were so much brighter because there wasn't as much light pollution. So honestly, even on cloudy nights, I think, to a certain degree, at night it would be easier to see and to be able to navigate because you would be able to see the stars a lot more.
Whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Declivity. I like that word. I like it. Picasso. Alright, any fun tidbits? Anything that I should grab? Nope.
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me, an object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Okay. Any fun little tidbits? Any... I'm not seeing any. I'm really liking the fun facts. I hope I'm not missing a ton.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
I don't think it
But I
is.
was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express.
I always gotta do like my little circle around things to make sure that I don't miss any fun facts.
For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith, whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Okay. No more fun facts? No fun facts? No fun facts for little old me? No more funky new knowledge, funky things, yes? Boo, hated. Okay. Ooh, hello!
Now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm,
Ooh.
and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
I know that it's in no way actually related, but for some reason this image itself reminds me of the Left Right game, which is a creepypasta. I don't think it's a creepypasta, but it is an internet horror story where there's a scene at a lake that isn't exactly the same as this, but it gives the vibes. I wish I could explain it more than it just gives the vibes.
Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Okay. Not seeing any more fun facts. Alright. Let's go.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
Interesting.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like.
It is interesting to me that multiple fish of the same exact species is fish, plural, while fishes means that it's multiple different species of fish. Fishes.
Several characters creatures obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms
I love the word fishes.
risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Alright. Dagon contained many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings at the Mountains of Madness, the Nameless City, journals and characters' notes, the shadow out of time, the haunter in the dark, islands emerging from the ocean, the Call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies, Migo in the Whisperer in Darkness. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip the details in order to not spoil the ending.
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
Defenestration. I love the word defenestration.
Men, at least a certain sort of men. Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
I often tell my friends that in order to get out of a situation, they should just auto-defenestrate.
For the mere remembrance
It delights me every time.
faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer. They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the
There's like
first
one
ancestor
podcast
of
that
the
I think may have
Piltdown
affected how I
or
think about a lot of stuff.
Neanderthal was born.
Just because I think about the podcast a bunch. What podcast? I'm curious now. Alright. No way but forward.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
Oh my god, the moon is gay?
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
Don't mind me. Crossing over. I'm totally normal about that podcast. What are you talking about?
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Okay.
Fiend-like and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith, about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Oh boy. It changed my perspective on how I think about it. I think you should. I would love to read that. Actually.
I think I went mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
Right. Alright. No way but forward. I think Ziggy's working on some new stuff actually recently, and I know that he's got a lot of short stories and a bunch of dang. Why am I blanking on the word for when multiple short stories are anthology? I don't think anthology is the correct word that I'm looking for, but I know that Ziggy does a lot of publishing, and I believe that she has a website that can show you what books her works are in. Alright, any more funky little things for little old me? No. The world is green now. Or the sky is.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Never a good thing to find out.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital, brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Alright. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his old journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. Howard was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticisms to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again, for the first time since his teenage years. Dagon, published in 1919, is one of the short stories written during that period. In this example excerpt from The Conservative, the master of horror fiction explains his attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Why any sane human being can believe in the possibility of universal peace is more than the conservative can fathom. Should the entire civilized world agree simultaneously to disarm, one or more nations would undoubtedly retain secret armaments and at the proper time take advantage of the more altruistic and less astute contemporaries in a wild career of conquest against unarmed victims. No country is or ever can be above warfare, under the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously unchanged. Until the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously changed. Alright. In defense of Dagon. In 1921, Lovecraft released a series of 3 essays, The Defense Reopens, The Defense Remains Open, and Final Words, later published as a collection titled In Defense of Dagon, in which he rebuked a series of criticism directed at his works, some notable quotes. I paint what I dream, and will let the public settle the rest amongst themselves. Mr. Monday asked the raison d'etre of Dagon. I will give it, purely and simply to reproduce a mood. Its object is the simplest in all art, portrayal. The physical horrors of war, no matter how extreme and unprecedented, hardly have a bearing on the entirely different realm of supernatural terror. Ghosts are still ghosts. The mind can get more thrills from unrealities than from realities. In the essays, Lovecraft touches upon the topics of atheism, materialism, and the quest for truth and the love of science. What was that last one about? Which one are you talking about? The journal entry or the little ding-ding? It said that I had half of the trivia, so I definitely missed some stuff. Yeah, The Conservative. Apparently that was a... I actually haven't done too much looking into that one for him. I didn't know that he was... I didn't entirely know about the fact that he was an amateur journalist. But yes, apparently he and some of his buddies were amateur journalists. Yeah, I've definitely missed some trivia. Darn. Lovecraft considered himself an atheist and an absolute materialist, which he attributed partly to his early childhood interest in astronomy and science in general. In his own words, I am indeed an absolute materialist so far as actually belief goes, with not a shred of credence in any form of supernaturalism, religion, spiritualism, transcendentalism, metempsychosis, or immortality. All I say is that I think it is damned unlikely that anything like a central cosmic will, a spirit world, or an eternal survival of personality exist. They are the most preposterous and unjustified of all the guesses which can be made about the universe, and I am not enough of a hair-splitter to pretend that I don't regard them as errant and negligible moonshine. In theory, I am an agnostic, but pending the appearance of a radical evidence, I must be classed, practically and provisionally, as an atheist. Ooh. Sources. Against Religion, The Atheist Writings of H.P. Lovecraft. by H.P. Lovecraft, and Mythos, The Myths and Tales of H.P. Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard by the two. Disarmament, that was mentioned. The entire topic of one stands out to me because I want to... Ooh! Like a class, or do you mean something else? I want to make sure that I don't miss anything else by chance. Because I've definitely missed stuff. I haven't been paying enough attention to the symbols, and I guess I haven't clicked on them. Alright. I think we can continue. No!
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist.
I need to figure out how to do those automatically, so that way I can do them at better times.
And amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Alright. We're gonna wait a moment. Yeah, Dagon is actually a Mesopotamian, I believe, fish god that Dagon was actually based off of. Okay, I want to see if I can find all of the little... That's forward. Okay, I can hear again. Hi! So I was just wondering if you went to a class based on disarmament, or if it was an essay or a lecture on it, and kind of what your thoughts are on it. Okay, I'm not seeing any other things letting me click on anything other than the one on the desk so far. So I'm thinking that's the only thing of trivia here. I definitely don't think that I got all of them. Okay. Dagon, was the main deity of the Philistines. Philistines! Not Mesopotamians. Darn it. Oh wait. The rulers of Akkad. Mesopotamia. Never mind. Helps if I read. For an English major. A former English major, let me clarify. I don't do a lot of reading. Was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, where did I even get that? Fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon was a common noun for grain. Did you know? Okay. A fun thing is a common word for an entire meal, or a full like a full, I guess a full course of nutrition is a good way of putting it. A full course of nutrition is often based off of a grain in most cultures. So in Asian cultures, they primarily can use the word for rice or something pertaining to rice to designate a meal. Meal is actually a ground grain with water, which then that's something that you eat. It's a full course of something, and now it is synonymous with a full now it's meal. I'm not explaining that well, but it's cool because it shows up in a lot of language. It's actually kind of a conference. Oh, got you. It's understandable that that would be the topic of conversation at a conference like that. The rulers of Akkad, Mesopotamia, chose him as the patron saint of their war conquests. He also appeared as the judge of the dead in an Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warder in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, as in Hebrew, the word dag means fish. In H.P. Lovecraft's works, Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Dagon. Alright, I think that's as far as we can get. I'm not seeing any either. Yeah. Forward we go.
But but soon perceived that it
Necronomicon.
was hopelessly conventional. I did not press my inquiries.
I still think that the one story that he wrote about this wizard that curses a family that all of you will die on this certain day, and all of them are freaking out because they think it's going to be magic, but it really is just the wizard that comes at them with a gun, is so funny of him. It's like, you didn't need to do all that. Alright, August Derleth was an American writer and anthologist. He also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his works through his company, Arkham House. Although he greatly contributed to the popularization of the author's works after his death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine. Derleth was a devout Catholic to the Cthulhu mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood and misinterpreted in today's culture. It is also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythology, and the term Cthulhu mythos was coined by Derleth after the author left the mortal plane. Interesting, I didn't know that. Lovecraft's attempts to find a job in 1925 were influenced by advice he received from friends. Among others, he started freelancing for a marketing magazine, where he would write announcements and commercials. Feel free to judge his copywriting skills for yourself. From an ad for Curtis Woodwork. Curtis Woodwork embraces both the usual structural units and the cleverest contrivances of built-in or permanent furniture, such as bookcases, dressers, buffets, and cupboards. Every model is conceived and created with the purest art, ripest scholarship, and the mellowest craftsmanship which energetic enterprise can command, and made to conform rigidly to the architecture of each particular type of home. The cost, considering the quality, is amazingly low, and a trademark on the individual pieces prevents any substitution by careless contractors. Alright. Any more cool trivia before we head off to wherever we're going next? Okay. What else do we got? Okay, that's forward. Any more fun things? Maybe on the floor? Don't think so. Where would we go? I regret that I only learned videos more recently that the King in Yellow while put in the Cthulhu mythos. Yes! It's a completely different author! I just didn't... Yeah, Cosmic Horror, I think, was, Lovecraft was one of the people that most popularized Cosmic Horror, but Cosmic Horror had existed to a certain extent before Lovecraft, and then grew in popularity and kind of jumped during the period in which Lovecraft was writing. I forget who the author of The King in Yellow is, but I do know that... Let me just look it up. I have the ability to. I forget that I have free will, and you guys are beholden to my strange side tangents. I think I got about halfway through Robert W. Chambers. I think I got about halfway through the book before I was listening to it on audiobook at my old job before I ended up leaving that job, and I just never quite finished the audiobook. So I think I'll pick it back up. It's a cognito hazard. SCP fans, rise up. I love me a good cognito hazard. I love losing yourself to madness in the search for knowledge, and the dangers that such knowledge without proper care and consideration can bring you. The dangers of it. These days, the word scientist is a widely accepted term, but at the time Dagon was published, it was subject to a wide debate. After the author used it in the story, critics pointed out that the man of science was a more appropriate term to employ. He admitted, in defense of Dagon, that if Dagon were to be reprinted, he would indeed use the phrase they suggested. Scientist was coined as an analog to artist, to be used when referring to those studying different branches of science. Yet in the 19th and early 20th century, scientific researchers in Great Britain and the United States were of the opinion that man of science, resembling the term man of letters, was the only proper choice. Among other things, it was gender-specific, indicating that science was an endeavor to be pursued by only one sex. The term scientist became more accepted only after World War II, and man of science started fading into obscurity as an old-fashioned synonym. Also, if you like The King in Yellow, I do have to recommend, because I've been recently obsessed with it, Searching for a World That Doesn't Exist. It is a Minecraft ARG, and it is delightful. It has been obsessing all of my thoughts.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
Emrys, you have to watch it. It's only 40 minutes, but it is one of the best experiences and one of the best interpretations of the King in Yellow that you will see in modern. Well, obviously there's Malevolent and there's there's a couple cool interpretations. Malevolent, obvious, being the most popular that I can think of. But I think that when it comes to just succinctity and just a very cool interpretation of the entire concept, Searching for a World That Doesn't Exist is one of the best interpretations. You have to admire its brevity.
I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written the full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I would absolutely. I'm perfectly normal. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfectly normal about about that Minecraft ARG. I don't know what you're talking about. Lovecraft hated tobacco, even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult. In his correspondence with friend Reinhard Kleiner, he claims that he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. He also there is a big fashion thing. Once you became seen as an adult, or you were seen as an adult male, you switched from wearing boy shorts to wearing long pants, and you never quite went back. There wasn't a shift back to shorts in popular fashion for men for a long time after. I think it wasn't until I think getting closer to like the 1920s that it started getting into popularity, and then after that but it was still, other than for sports and certain events, shorts were not considered part of the fashion norm for a long, at least until the 40s. So as soon as he started wearing long pants is essentially as soon as he became an adult. But I'm sure that you guys could figure that out. I just think it's interesting, fashion-wise, that it really was the thing of what denotes a child from a boy from a man. Because a child, you're wearing a dress. Once you're considered a boy, you're wearing shorts. Once you're considered a man, you're wearing long pants. He also had a very strong opinion about alcohol, as evidenced by his letter to Zalia Brown, dated 13th February 1928. As for the matter of drinking, I have never tasted intoxicating liquor and never intend to, having a strong aesthetic disgust as anything which blunts or coarsens the delicate natural equipoise of the evolved human intellect and imagination. Drinking excited my personal repugnance, hence I don't drink. Let the herd do what they will, I am rather in favor of prohibition. The prohibition of any one antisocial force as well as any other. It's so interesting because culture and politics heavily influences fashion. So you can tell sometimes fashion trends and political and social trends by how fashion is shifting. So understanding it is that thing of like everything ties into everything. If you can take a look at fashion and you take a look at how it shifted, especially in multiple cultures, of course, but also especially in European and like American culture, you can understand where to a certain extent, where political and social trends are going. Like, funnily enough, longer skirts are a recession indicator. And you're seeing that
Often,
longer
I
skirts are
ask
coming back
myself
into
if
fashion.
Not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever, as I lay
The better the
sun-stricken
economy, the
and
shorter the
raving
skirts
in
get.
the open boat after my escape from the German man of war.
Yeah, we've, so what we notice is in the 1920s, during the Gilded Age, shirts got so with recession comes increased conservatism, I think is the explanation. What we notice is that when okay, this music is getting more dramatic on me. I will explain this a little bit more later. My girlfriend would know a lot more about this. She does a lot more studies into this. She was considering being a fashion historian.
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
This was generally a really, really cool free game, though. I did like this.
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Alright, any more cool factoids before we head to our imminent demise? Not that I am noticing. Cool. And so we go off.
It shall not find me.
Honestly, I love games that, whether intentionally or unintentionally, spark a discussion.
God, that hand. The window. The window.
I can't turn. All right. Oh, that was cool. Okay, so as far as my knowledge goes, the reason why longer skirts are a recession indicator, what we've noticed in trends is that when the economy is going well, there's more kind of liberal and more kind of individual kind of personal kind of like freedom of expression type things. There's increases in kind of freedom, civil rights movements, things like that. When the economy is going bad, which leads to shorter skirts, like if you saw during the flapper era, and then later on during kind of the trying to remember the eras in history. I will admit that when it comes to direct fashion history, my knowledge is a little bit more limited than I would like it to be. But when the economy is doing poorly, like in the 30s, like in the pretty sure the 50s, it's either 50s or 60s, and even now we're noticing that there's a rise of more conservative ideals and cultural expectations, or at least the attempts to bring those back into mainstream, which influences fashion to cover yourself more conservative fashion. And you'll start to see that more in the mainstream. as a reflection of the shifting cultural values and cultural focus. So that's kind of where the slight adage of like economy good, skirts shorter, economy bad, skirts longer comes into play. That was fun though. I enjoyed that. That was a really good time. Right, we definitely didn't get all the trivia, but I think overall, I think we got over half. Oh.
And scary stories have been accompanying men for centuries.
Oh.
They have many faces and forms. But what is their purpose? Why do we enjoy being afraid so much?
What is this about?
During our therapy, I'll try to...
Ooh, I missed what that said, but I think it was backwards text. I'll have to check that out. That seems cool. Alright. Okay, so we missed 1, 2... Oh, we only missed 4! I'm gonna unlock them. We can unlock all trivia in this category, but we won't get associated achievements. You'll still have to find them during the game. Honestly, just for curiosity's sake, I do want to check this out, and I'll go back for the achievement later. Why do we enjoy being scared so much? I think one of the small ways that they explain it is that it is experiencing large surges in emotions, that fight or flight, but in a safe environment. So it helps to prep the body for more serious situations, and it's also doing it within a controlled enough environment that we're allowing ourselves to experience the emotions with the fallback of the safety of this is just horror, this is just a game. So it's allowing ourselves to experience the full factor of fear with a safety net. But there's probably a lot more, like, research done into it that would explain it a lot more. Dagon was written around a month after the United States entered World War I. Lovecraft was actively interested in its course. He composed many poems in which he gave encouragement to soldiers and commented on the events unfolding in Europe. He tried to enlist in the army, which he mentions in one of the letters to Reinhard Kleiner. Some time ago, impressed by my entire uselessness in the world, I resolved to attempt enlistment despite my almost invalid condition. I argued that if I chose a regiment soon to depart for France, my sheer nervous force, which is not inconsiderable, might sustain me till a bullet or a piece of shrapnel could more conclusively and effectively dispose of me. Okay. But even though he passed the physical exam, his mother prevented him from going to the war. She has threatened to go to any lengths, legal or otherwise, if I do not reveal all the ills which unfit me for the army. Yeah. Power of a mother who does not want you to join the military. Dagon was written in July 1917 and first published in 1919 in The Vagrant, an amateur magazine focused on the supernatural. The story is the first of his stories that included an element from the Cthulhu mythos, Dagon itself. A pagan cult worshipping Dagon later appears in the shadow over Innsmouth. Ooh, that one's a good one. One of Lovecraft's most popular works. In 1917 is also the year when he wrote The Tomb, a story about Jervis Dudley, a daydreamer who discovers a mysterious mausoleum in the woods by his house and becomes obsessed with it. These two works marked Lovecraft's return to short story writing after he burned most of his attempts at the genre 9 years prior and decided to concentrate on poetry. Lovecraft stated that it was his friend, William Paul Cook, a literary publisher and critic who convinced him to start writing weird fiction again. Lovecraft would often use the latest scientific discoveries as inspiration for his works. Oh yeah, there was an entire short story about air conditioning. He would even update his stories at the last moment in order to make sure they reflected the latest breakthroughs. Unfortunately, this method was not without its flaws. After Lovecraft's death, the Piltdown Man discovery mentioned in Dagon turned out to be a paleoanthropological fraud. In 1912, Charles Dawson, an amateur archaeologist, announced that he had discovered the missing link between ape and man, the fossilized remains of a previously unknown early human. Years later, they turned out to be a forgery, but by that point the fraud had already managed to negatively affect the early research on human evolution. In the year when the discovery took place, the majority of the scientific community believed Dawson indeed found the missing link. In 1953, Time magazine published evidence proving that Dawson was a conman. It turned out that the fossils of the previously unknown early human consisted of a human skull, the jaw of an orangutan, and chimpanzee teeth. How did I miss the last one? What? At another house where people were stirring, he asked questions about the gods, whether they danced often upon Lyrion, but the farmer and his wife would only make the elder sign and tell him the way to Nir and Ulthar, the dream quest of unknown Kadath, H.P. Lovecraft. Elder sign is a protective symbol that can be found in various works of pop culture, usually represented by a 5-pointed star with an eye flame symbol in its center. For example, in games inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's writings, it is supposed to ward away all kinds of cosmic horrors. However, this is a later version of the sign, created by the author's friend, writer August Derleth. In our game, we have used the original symbol, as designed by Lovecraft, in the form of a 6-pointed branch, which he sometimes included in letters to his friends. Glad you enjoyed it, but what was the point of the game? Felt like a bunch of trivia pop-up and reading more than playing a game. That was just listening and doing some other things. Just curious about the game aspect of it. To be honest, I think it did say that this was supposed to be just a short kind of point-click thing, like adaptation of the original story of Dagon. So I think, honestly, we ended up spending a lot of time on the trivia just because I'm a yapper. I big yap. But I think it just was supposed to be a small, fun interpretation of Dagon. Would I say that it's like the best game that I've ever played? Definitely not. I think it definitely introduced I think it was a cool interpretation and a cool adaptation. And I loved the trivia aspect of it and all of the discussions that it brought to the table. But I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever done. But I would say that I definitely enjoyed it. But anyways, that was Dagon. There are some downloadable content, some other games made by the creators that, honestly, it might be fun to check out. Alright. I think next we're gonna go for a little bit of funny. Alright. Let me update tags. We're going to do a game called Fever Meme. I'm not gonna lie, I found it somewhere, I don't remember where, and I thought, LOL, this would be fun to play. Let me grab the trigger warnings here. There are spiders, some loud audio, and some photosensitivity warnings, as well as some jump scare warnings. But no, Emrys, I do understand your question. It's definitely one of those that it was supposed to take 20 minutes, and I jabbermouthed a little bit too long. I did enjoy all the discussions that popped up with it, though. All right, up. Let me games. Why are you not showing up? Please, please. Why? Window capture? Aha! Here we go. I'm a professional, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Am I a content creator? Yes. I'm not entirely sure what I'm getting myself into.
Fever Meme is the first game I've ever finished and released on Steam. I truly hope you enjoy.
This one's definitely more for fun than it is for anything else. Alright, see what we got. July 4th, 1946. German-occupied Wyoming? Does it play different if you say you are? I'm not quite sure. What?
Oriol.
Hola, soy secretamente un dictador fascista.
I think it probably does to a certain degree. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I think I saw like a clip of the skeleton guy and maybe one other clip and I went, LOL, I have to play this for myself without spoiling everything for myself.
Si llegas al verdadero final me encontrarás allí.
Hello. Hi. What? Hi. Look at that. Best jumper in the world. Hello. Oh. Thank you.
All right, the first actual map of the game. Good luck. Have fun.
Can I crouch? Is that possible? I'd like to crouch. I'd like to go in there, actually. I don't believe it lets me, unfortunately. Tingus Goose. I'm sure that is a reference that's gonna pop up later. This is a Mousecatool we'll bring out later. Oh, lava. You think I can jump across this? Let's not do anything stupid, come on. I really want to go in there though. I want to go in there. Why don't you let me in there? I want to go in there. Ugh. Any other funny buttons that I can hit? It would not seem so. Damn. I've been banned from Dave and Buster's. Oh!
You died a stupid death.
Okay. I'm assuming we go over the lava then. Stupid death? No stupid death. Damn, I can't believe my first instinct to go directly into the dangerous thing was actually the correct option. I kept getting hurt. I needed an outlet. Wait, what did that say? I kept getting hurt. I needed an outlet. I can't read that fast! Okay. I guess we'll have to be on the lookout for more of those. Ooh! I apologize, I didn't read your comment before, Tingus Goose. I mean, yeah. I've got a couple other games that I wanted to get through, but if we don't touch on it here, I'll definitely do it on another thing of just doing kind of random games. Because the thing is, I feel a little bit bad. I want to get back into some of the games that I haven't quite completed yet, but at the same exact time, I'm also, like, lacking the focus to be able to do those games. It's almost that, like, demand avoidance of I'm refusing to do it. And so I'm just trying to hit up small other games that I've wanted to check out that I know won't take too long, but will bring me a little bit of joy to try to get myself back into the swing of things while still being able to do things. I feel like you're going to switch on me, you little bastard. You seem too easy. But we're gonna die anyways. Yep.
Come now, you really should have seen that coming.
I did! But, yeah, because it's kind of like the thing of, like, there's so many games that I want to try, and so many things that I want to do, and I feel like I just oftentimes don't have, like, all the time in the world or the focus to do a lot of them, especially some of the smaller games and stuff like that. And so it's nice to just kind of, like, play some random games that I find that pique the interest and be like, okay, do I like this? Do I not? Will I continue with this or play it again? Will I not? Stuff like that. And then eventually we are going to finish, like, the Graveyard Keeper game and date everything, and oh, Jesus Christ.
You were impaled by a flying bed of...
I have played Betrayal at the House of the Hill. It's, one of my roommates' data showed it to us, and it's such a fun game. I really like that one. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something here. Do we need to go back, or do we need to go forward? It's such a fun one, honestly. I love how halfway through... no, we don't have any of the expansions, I don't. Okay, so I've got to get to that hole before it comes at me, I think. Is that it? No. Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. Do I need to jump? Nope. Okay. Exactly. I love how every single time it's different, and every single time, like, the rules switch up on you at a certain point. I feel very silly. Okay. I'm ramming my head into a brick wall here. If I go backwards, will it get me? Yep. Please don't tell me I'm so dumb I can't figure this out. It's gonna come at me. Yep. Is there any way to get it to go before we jump down there? I feel really stupid right now. Yep. So you have to go down to activate it. And it comes at you before you can get to the hole. That, or do you need to jump out as far as you can go beforehand? Usually for phase 1, it's good to explore as much of the house as possible. Yeah, honestly, because, like, there was one where it was, like, we explored as much as possible. Okay. Okay. I'm just ramming my head into a brick wall at this point. What am I not seeing? Because there's back here. How did that squeak? I'm just gonna do a spread out, because usually a traitor. Yeah, because that's... Usually by the end, someone ends up becoming kind of the major problem. What am I not seeing here? Why am I so dumb? Okay. So I know that I need to get to that. There's no sprint. There's only jump. I know that I need to get to that hole before the spikes go, but the spikes always go before I can get to the hole. Yep. Am I just not going fast enough? Do I need to sprint faster? What am I doing wrong? Come. Yep. Yeah, because it's timed. I feel really stupid right now. I cannot for the life of me figure this out. Nope. This is like the third one. How am I this bad? Okay. Love tabletop more than video game for the variety. Yeah, that is kind of one of the things, is that it's just, unfortunately, there's not always the best way. I know that there's a tabletop simulator where you can play some games, but I think it's more card games, unfortunately. Okay. I'm just ramming my head into a brick wall at this. I keep on saying that, and then I just continue to keep on ramming my head into a brick wall. Okay. Damn. I think at a certain point I might just look up how to get past this, because I do have a couple more games that I want to run through, and I am definitely one that is willing to give up on a certain thing. Because I don't think there's any... What am I missing here? What the heck? Okay. I think I just gotta figure it out. Okay, well, there's another squeak. What am I missing here? Do I need to not step on certain things? Okay. Maybe I need to just step on the white squares? I don't think that's entirely possible. Nope. What do we got going on here? Nope. Are you kidding me? Okay. You know what? We're turning on a bop while we sit here and watch me struggle. Not you. Let's do... At least we get tunes while I continue to be the biggest fool you've ever seen in your life. Okay. Can't tell what I'm missing here. Do I need to, like, stay on one side of things? Because I don't think that's exactly it. There was some squeaking on the floor, but I'm not sure. I'm probably, like, missing something so basic. I just stare at you. Yep. Doesn't change if I don't. Hi, Silver! What's up? I'm currently being a massive idiot who cannot figure out for the life of me this level. Yeah, it's gonna come at me. I don't know what I'm missing. I'm probably missing something so obvious. I wonder if... Can I just... Nope. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm filled with so much rage. Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh. I had a comedy video I wanted to see if you listen to. Ooh. What is the video? Okay, let's go here. So I was correct in using this as like a hiding spot, but I just didn't do it right. I thought it was far enough in the corner. God. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Oh, so you just get closer is what it is. Okay. Do I need to just go for it this time? You're preying on my fear. Alright. Ooh. Let me check that. Alright, let's see what we got. I'm gonna give you guys... There you go.
You know, my wife and I didn't always look this happy.
Thanks, honey.
No.
And it's true. We used to be so exhausted. It seemed like no
Oh
matter
my
what we tried,
gosh.
life just kept demanding more and more.
Finally, we asked our doctor what she would recommend. And that's when we first heard about sleep.
She told us that sleep is a revolutionary new way to get energy.
Sleep happens when you stop moving and close your eyes. Something I had no memory of doing ever in my entire life.
Oh, that's a
One
problem.
sleep can provide up to 16 hours of energy. That's like 9 cups of coffee or 10 pounds of chocolate. Now that I sleep, I only eat chocolate when I want to, which is actually the same amount.
I don't trust that.
Our doctor explained that sleep requires about 7 hours for full effect, and you have to do it daily. I was like, Doc, I don't even have time to use the bathroom daily.
Are you making fun of my sleep schedule now?
Also, we need to talk about that bathroom thing.
The first night we decided to try sleep, we knew we had to make some time for it, so we kept the TV off.
Skip dinner.
Skip giving the kids a bath.
Skip taking out the trash, the dog, paying our mortgage.
And skipped visiting my grandmother in the hospital because that woman can talk.
And she's not the only one who is short on time.
The next morning when we woke up and my
Hi.
grandmother didn't, we knew we were hooked.
We've been sleeping for months now, and it's amazing how much more energy we have and how we no longer wish to die.
Sleep may not be possible for new parents, old parents, parents in general.
There's something I need to talk to you. I wasn't even sure. I'm gonna pause this just for a second. There's something I need to tell you. So I had the game randomly choose instead. This message will only ever appear once, so I apologize if you were in the middle of something when it happened. Huh. If you end up beating this game, and let's be honest, most of you won't, then I have something I need to show you after. I know this seems incredibly random, but even if I wanted to explain why I'm asking this now, you haven't even beaten the base game yet. Everything will make sense soon. Very soon. Thank you. I'm sorry? Well, that's definitely something. I wonder what's meant by beating the game. Okay. Oh my gosh. Do we just go in and die? Is that the... Oh, hi. Sure. An ad for the expanded game. Might be, but I can't anymore. What? I did read something that this was made during a tough time for the developer or something? What? Is it just making random bad computer noises on me? Okay, so it's here. Nope, what? Oh.
Lava is indeed hot.
Whoa. What a concept. Ah. Gotta be a bit more. It appears you suck at plat. I know, but hey. Watch this fall out from under me. Thank you. Like, really badly. Thank you. Thank you for the princess treatment. You're indeed a prick, bodiless narrator. Mood, but I also got princess treatment for that, so you know what? I'm not gonna argue it. Let's go. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh. You gonna... Oh! Oh, princess. Help me with my... Oh, princess. Let me wool out this, purple carpet because you suck at platforming, princess. Hello, princess. Ah!
Oh, beware of spiders, by the way.
That's where the spiders come in, it would seem. Hate that. Oh my gosh. How do I just, like, not walk on the thing? Oh my gosh. And, okay. You seem like bad news. You seem like you'll kill me. I don't know where exactly I'm supposed to go. So... no way but forward. I have not, in fact, seen a horse spider. Oh.
I wonder what red means.
Okay. Does red mean stop? Okay, so I think I have to, like, let it pass. I have to let it pass fully through me. Okay. Alright. Okay. At least I have the concept. Okay. Green means go. Okay, so I've got to... Oh, awful. Hate whatever this is. Oh, because I wasn't going when the green went through. Okay. Oh. Okay. We're professional. What? Ah! Are you freaking kidding me? I want to see what this does. Alright. Let's see what we got. Go green to green. Alright, we gotta catch it just at the right moment. That way we can... Red! No! Okay. This is bullshit. It's bullshit and I hate it. Awful? Awful. Okay. Okay. Yes. You pay for what you get. Okay. Go. Stop. Go. Ha! Why did you squeak? Why did you squeak? Okay. Oh! Well. Okay. Well. I don't like whatever that means. I'm the best. Okay. So I'm guessing it's gonna be another one of this. Yo! Okay. Well. Live and learn. Whoa! Fuck! This is homophobic. What? No! No! Fitting that this PNG tuber has a gun. Oh, fuck! I did that to myself. I very much did that to myself. Okay. I love the immediate suffer. Fuck! I moved! Hated. Bullshit. Bullshit! Okay. Let's go. Fuck. Honey, I will put oatmeal and raisins into your cookies. I swear to God. This Mima is doing the best she can. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay. Oh! Yeah! Okay, okay, okay. Just one more of this. Oh! What did that say? No! Shit, I missed it! Fuck! Hate that! What? I missed it! I missed what it said! A lot of making something... I missed what it said. What? I deeply distrust everything you put in front of me. Okay, I'm assuming 3 goes this way. Bark like you want it. Bark like you want it, baby. Bark like you want it. Ooh. We want it. Meow, come and get it, baby. Ooh, we want it. Meow, come and get it, lady. Do I need to, like, go a different direction? Ha! Bitch. No, what did it say? Jackass. Please type yes or no to the following survey questions. There are no wrong answers. Okay. Was the previous trapdoor too obvious? Yes. Did your first encounter with the spider scare you? Yes. Do you agree that jump scares can be funny when done right? Yes. Would you agree that most of the trolls have been fair so far? Yes, I'd say they've been fair. Are you enjoying the game? Yes. You know anyone, such as friends or family, who might enjoy the game? Yes. Do you know there are multiple secret endings to this game? I did not know. Did you eat before playing the game today? Did you shower today? No, that was my plan after I streamed. Did you shower yesterday? No, because I do it on a 2-day schedule. I shower tomorrow. Yes. You subscribe to Mr. Beast? No. Have you ever watched anime? Yes. Do you miss your ex? No. Are you sure? Yes. Do you think you're a good person? I think I attempt to be. Do you donate to charity? Yes. Have you ever done anything illegal? Yeah. Jaywalking. Lots of things are illegal. Have you answered this question truthfully? Yes, to the best of my ability. Has anyone ever described you as gullible? Yes, very much so. Type yes as fast as you can 20 times. Why? I don't feel like doing that. You're going to push me back into the hole. I don't trust you. Are you done? Oh, okay. I missed it. Missed a yes. Okay. Well, that was fun. The more I play this game, the less I trust about it. Alright. Let's see what you've got for me, spider. I really should have seen that coming. What if I punish you for typing too slow? That would have been an interesting thing. Ha! I know your wicked ways, magic man. Oh. Didn't know it was time for the rapture. But I guess we're going up to the rapture. Yuppie! What? No, bitch. No, let me in. Let me in. Let me in. I want to get raptured. I'm getting raptured. Let me get raptured. I want to get raptured. I want to get raptured. Take me up. Take me up. Beam me up, Scotty. Haha. Rapture me. I'm gonna burn every spitter I see, honestly. Ooh. This seems like a bad thing. This is a bad thing. I regret the thing I'm doing. And for a while that worked. What did I miss? Typing. Oh, shit. Meemaw mode lasts 10 minutes. Dad, no, you aren't absent. No, you're absent enough as is. There. What did I miss, though? And for a while that worked. Oh, it's gone now. No, no, shit. Bastard. Alright. 3 more minutes on the docket from what I remember. Or did we start at 10 exactly? I feel like we started at 10:10, but I don't remember. Oh my gosh! Those spiders, man. Can I have to say, even though this game is like, it's tough, but it's fun.
My main goal is to blow up.
Put it at 9. Gotcha. Okay. Apparently my main goal is to blow up.
How are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Oh, let me get a drink. Stretch. And sit up straight. Oh, I've been crouching for a minute. Oh boy. You tend to forget. I'm wondering if I can go around the spider. Haha, I can. Okay, so it jumps over to the other side. How long do I have before it jumps again?
Ooh.
Ooh. Well, seeing as we're switching back to this mode. Well, princess, I think we can figure out the rest of this puzzle pretty easily. We're already at the end of the hallway. Ooh. Well, this could get dangerous. But don't worry, princes and princesses and other noble figures. A wink. We can do this. Oh! Why did that scare me?
For legal reasons, I have to specify that this is Steamboat Willie, not the other guy.
I feel like you're making fun of me. What does that say on the wall? Oh. Until one day I let my guard down. Any more text? I feel like I'm running directly into something that's going to kill me. Oh, you are rapidly approaching my location! Can I swip through your legs? Oh, okay. My ultimate whiz has defeated my opponent. Well, I will take this with good heart and a healthy sportsmanship. As we continue our perilous journey through to the end, I believe there will probably be lava on one of these stairs. For some reason, this has turned into the Oh Princess Guide today. We're doing the, don't really know how to tell you this, but look behind you. You know I gotta do it. You know I got to look behind me. Dying is faster than walking back down. I feel like I'm going to walk back down. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop me. I'm pretty speedy. Well, don't ever say that I won't take the harder, but the more useful road. Why die when I can do my stairmaster for the day? Because we all know I'm definitely the master. That's why. Spider says press the red button. What if I don't want to? What if I say no? I don't think I have a choice. Spider said press the red button. You'll regret pressing this later. I hope you know there's an invisible camera, and I'm staring directly at it while looking at this button and saying this is a bad idea. But I am, in fact. I regret a lot of things in life. Oh, that's awful. I just saw the horse spider. But I think I'm going to make the dumb decision, and I'm going to press this. we're also going to press the red button. I love making the dumb... Look! The button's even yellow. This place understands the assignment of making a harder choice and infinitely screwing yourself over in the pursuit of knowledge of what would happen if I did this. Jump in the spike pit. Spider doesn't say to do that. I know Simon Says, motherfuckers! I'm well versed in the Simon of the Says. Oh, I'm in heaven now. I'm in heaven now. Hello. Why is there a plant? I wish to marvel at you. You wonderful bamboo plant. Can I jump on you? I'm standing in the plant. They'll never see me coming. I hide in the bushes. Alert. A fantastical warrior. A hunter. An alpha. Here to stalk my prey. Yes. I am the foodiest, most tasty alpha you've ever seen in your entire life. And I'm here to stalk my quarry. Ha. I hunt. I sniff the ground. Oh my god. I'm checking. How many weaves? Well, that depends. How many? Do you count the little ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the problem is I have bad eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Oh. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 4 for the first layer. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think there are 19 or 20. The ABO test begs to differ. The ABO test does not determine about...
It is heavily implied that you were impaled by spikes.
I've noticed that. Thank you, Naruto. There are West weaves now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's the 1. Then there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not good at counting. Do I need to jump over there? I do. 5. And 8, 6, 7. I think I'm fucked. Whoop. Well. Apparently, I'm too alpha to be good at counting. There are no weaves. This game has 0 faith in me. What color was the bamboo? No. It's like... What the fuck? It was not chartreuse. I have feelings about chartreuse. I would know if it was chartreuse. It feels like it was mahogany. No. Oh boy. I suppose I have nothing left to do but die. Okay. Well, it would seem we are being bamboozled by I'm sorry, what the fuck? Hello? I suppose, perhaps, we are being tweaked by this system. There are ferns on the ground. There are weaves all around. I'm not counting shit. I know I will lose anyways. What question will you ask me, Puzzle Master? What? You're not asking me a question, Puzzle Master. I am suspicious of this situation. Okay. Is that a twerk? What? Were there spiders driving the fucking twerk? Okay. I can speak normally again now. I was hit by a truck and it fixed my voice. The spiders were driving the truck. Okay. Oh.
Yes. The obligatory maze level. No game would be complete without them.
Truck-coon.
Or am I thinking the water levels?
I got us ahead to the back rooms. Ha. Okay. Let's go back to the... Let's... you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna go. There's actually multiple different methods for...
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bomb is shaped like a deer. D-U-I.
You calling me a deer?
How you die. I'll go 100 miles.
Delightful use of sound effects. Thank you. There's actually, I was reading a thing of the multiple ways that they can be used to solve a maze, because obviously there's the put your hand on the, I think it's the left wall, and if you could just continue to follow the left, I let her in, I even showed her this project. Switching between the two streams. Now I want to know what other one you have open. I'm curious now. But... Oh, Volk. Oh, probably doing Wild West? Yeah. I had a feeling. Probably angst then. But anyways, I was looking at a video that was describing the different ways that you can solve a maze, and one of them was pretty interesting. It's like, so there's obviously the left-hand one where you just you put your hand on the left wall and you can just continue onward. But the only stipulation to that is that the maze can't have any just like open walls to it. Yeah. If the maze has like disconnected walls and certain like corridors and pathways in it, then you can't use the left-handed method. But then there's another one where it's kind of like, it's one where you check at every single intersection, you map out. Well, what it is I think every single time that you hit a dead end, you go back to the left. You remember where the last corridor was, where the last turn was, and then you go back to that last turn, and you just continue to do that until you find the correct thing of turns. Then there's one version where it's like the path of least resistance. You just, but the stipulation of that one is you need to know where in general you're going, because what you can do is you can do it as if you're going directly quickest method there, and then once you hit a roadblock, you redraw essentially your mental map to follow the next path of least resistance, considering that new roadblock, and you continue to do that and add to your knowledge until you eventually hit the end. I made a maze in Minecraft once, and someone went in the same area. Yeah, that sounds about right. One time on an old server, I made a maze that it was powered. Obviously, you got a pickaxe. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but what it was is it was sound activated for the door, but it was only sound activated so that way you can go in. You couldn't go back out. And the maze had a warden in it. and you had to know, you know, it was basically an entire darkness. You had to, I saw that. I saw you, you little spider. But you had to, no writing this time. You had to crouch for the most part to be generally undetected because there was a warden wandering around in it. You weren't supposed to survive in this phase. But then, there were note block attached pressure plates that obviously you'd have to jump over them. So either way, you were making noise at certain sections of the maze. And then there was there were small tells for how to navigate through the maze. But in order to actually get out, you had to stand on a certain block and find a hidden button. And press that button in order to have the piston pull out and drop you to safety. And that was, I press X-ray mode. Okay. Oh, this is... And because of that, even this became tainted. Why are there spikes there? Somehow X-ray mode has made this even more difficult. Entirely skyweave. Oh my gosh. So essentially this. You made this. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm over it. There's the exit.
Jackass. Allow escape. Oh.
Ah, yes. The obligatory maze level.
Ad break.
Hello there. You told me you were a content creator earlier. So as thanks for playing, please take this opportunity to stop for an ad break. And if you feel bad about shoving ads down people's throats, don't. I promise the alternative, if you don't, is much worse. Ad break starting now.
To be honest, I just have on auto ads.
Twitch.tv/aimbot. Twitch.tv/aimbot.
I feel like we're being told something here. I feel like we're...
Interpretation implies that there are most likely an uncountable number of universes. It is one of a number of multiverse hypotheses in physics and philosophy.
Okay.
Many worlds views time as a many-branched tree, wherein every possible quantum outcome is realized. In modern versions of many worlds, the subjective appearance of
I'm just gonna keep my streak with Millie.
is explained by the mechanism of quantum decoherence. Decoherence approaches to interpreting quantum theory have been widely explored and developed
Oh my
since
gosh.
the 1970s.
Oh my gosh. This is why the photosensitivity warning was put on the trigger warnings.
Welcome back and enjoy the rest of the game.
Okay. Okay. Why are my controls reversed? Okay. Well, only my left and rights are. Oh, okay. This squee is really, really awesome. Okay. Why? Did you know that there's actually, like, they tested that it's actually pretty easy for people to figure out how to do this eventually. If you put on glasses that reverse your vision, eventually your brain adapts to be able to, essentially reverse. It fixes and reverses, the input that it's being given. in your mind so that way you can... Oh, shit. This is really complicated. Just kind of gotta dash it once it comes past me. Okay. No, shit. Shit! This is a lot more complicated than it seems. No, shit.
Hey, so here's a pro tip. If you turn your mouse upside down, then it's like you don't even have inverted controls. I'm not even trolling when I say this, but yeah, an early beta tester from about a year and a half ago figured this out and beat the map that way.
You know what?
Try it out.
You know what? I'll give it a try. Sure, I'll listen to you. I'll be gullible as hell. Oh my god, that actually works. What the fuck? This is gonna come back to bite me later, but... I'm assuming that Squee is the person who figured out the reverse control effect. This is fucking ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this actually works. And the mouse is back to what it was. Okay. This game is fun, I've gotta say. I'm genuinely really enjoying this. It's silly, but fun. And it allows for someone who is bad at things like me to still move forward to a certain extent. Why does it feel like my frame rates are being lowered? Okay. Oh my gosh, I think they are. Are you artificially slowing my freaking frame rates, you... No, shit!
Are you good? You seem to be lagging a bit.
Violence. Violence be upon ye. Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing any... Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright. I haven't seen any more text lately about continuing the story. Okay. Don't see the color you're looking for. Contact or customer support by taking the elevator on the left. You know what? No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no. I don't think I like any of these. I want to take the elevator. I want to choose violence. And probably die. Watch this soft lock us for like a good while. So anyways, how's your guys' days going? How you guys doing? Oh, it actually, customer support. Okay. I think that's their way of saying choose a color. Okay. As one does. Oh!
Isn't that just like customer support? The part about being a brick wall, I mean. Not the giant spider that kills you.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding. Okay. Well, okay. Guess we're going back through this. You're trying emotes? Ooh. Who for? I decided making Amazon list for. Ooh. What con? If you don't mind me asking. Are you just planning cosplays? Oh, shoot. Ow. Ooh.
Do we already need to revisit the tutorial map?
I'm gonna find this narrator and I'm gonna kill him. It does remind me of Stanley Parable. Gotcha. Holiday Matsuri. Ooh, I think I've heard of that one. I've never gone. Okay. I've got to get a couple things for... I've got a con in March, so I've got time, but I've got seasonal female Rudolph. Ooh! You know what? What am I feeling today? What am I feeling? You. I'm feeling you today. That pick your least favorite color? Wear chartreuse. Where are you, you little bastard? Where's chartreuse? Oh, I'm not seeing exactly chartreuse, so I'm just gonna pick yellow. Oh, shit. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable showing this to you guys. Unfortunately, it would be... I wish there was a way that... I think the only way to turn off, like, the photosensitivity side of this is to... Shoot. Is to pick the same for favorite and least favorite color. Which I didn't think about at the time. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta say, that was a jump scare. I knew that there was going to be photosensitivity, which is why I put it in the trigger warnings, but I didn't realize it was... Okay. Alright, it ended itself, so let me just... Yeah, awful. I don't think I really appreciate that. It would have been nice to have a little bit of a warning before that. Yeah, don't appreciate that. Sorry about that. Okay. It would be nice if for, like, the content creation thing, if there was a way to turn off, the photosensitivity and the epilepsy thing. There's a fake wall behind you. No, I gotta turn on, sure. I know this is probably just wasting my time, but just because there are a lot of streamers who want to do this but have viewers who are epileptic, and I know that I'm late to the game and probably saying this, but it would be nice if there was a way. A BLJ? Big long jump? Not a fake wall. Just checking. You never know until you check.
In this game, a dangerous cube chases you. Each time you successfully jump to the next platform, your score goes up. How high of a score can you get?
Probably not backwards long jump. Oh, gotcha. I know I've seen videos of a streamer who did it once, but I don't remember. I never actually played any of the original Mario games. Oh, hi. Okay.
In this game, a dangerous cube chases you. Each time you successfully jump to the next platform, your score goes up. How high of a score can you get?
I'm gonna run right into you.
Don't give up. I believe in you. Truly, I mean it. I think if you can manage to get to 100 points, you'll get...
The narrator just got killed. Gotta get to 100 points? Absolutely not. Okay. Bitch! Alright. I guess we continue until it either locks us out or we get to 100, which I doubt we'll do. What? Oh, you need to be jumping through the blue. Okay. I'm smart. I know things. I know things and stuff. What are you talking about? I know a lot of things. And stuff. Oh, god damn it. I wonder if I continue to give up, will it say anything? I'm curious now. Okay, I think it just continues to start us. Yeah, I think the narrator just got killed, so... On we go! Oh. Gotta hold off on the jump. Oh, okay. I'm smart. I know what I'm doing, I think. Not really. Oh. I proved my point. I think I'm gonna be a little bit frustrated if it actually makes you get all the way to 100 just to get through this. Because I get kind of the point of it is that you need to figure things out and you need to kind of like... But there's a certain level where it becomes kind of okay. Especially with the thing of get to 100, I'm not really all that interested in spending that much time on this, especially after... I'm not gonna lie, with like the whole entire photosensitivity, like the flashing lights thing, it's kind of... Despite the warnings, it wasn't enough of a warning. And it didn't seem necessary enough that this game is starting to draw my ire a little bit. Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give this a couple more goes, and then I might put this game on hold for another time. Okay. And move on to another game. Just because I am a little bit frustrated with this. It's one I'd probably complete on my own at this point, but I might not continue streaming it, especially if there's going to be... Yeah, I'm kind of... getting a little bit tired of this. No. I need to stop doing the exact opposite of what the thing is telling me to do. Okay. At this point, I'm just not paying attention. Alright. Check the center column. What do you mean, friend? Like, go through there? Try jumping into it. Wait. That didn't have any spikes. At least I didn't see any. Sorry, I think I'm just a little bit upset about just how stark that was without any warning. I'm really frustrated about it. And it's probably silly, but it's... There needs to be better. Even at the start of the game, if you're like, oh, photosensitivity warning, it doesn't hurt to allow a chance to skip or a way to turn it off, especially when it can cause genuine problems for someone.
Oh, you broke out already? I honestly thought that would have taken you longer to figure out. I didn't even finish building this section of the map yet. Just a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a chance to see if I get back into it, but yeah, I'm a little upset with it right now, because that's dangerous for a lot of viewers, to not either be able to turn it off or at least to give a decent enough warning that I could have put something in front before that started happening. I'm not exactly freaking pleased about it.
Oh, silly me. I forgot.
Especially because part of my enjoyment is walking into a lot of this blind with you guys. Because I'm kind of doing games.
You're playing through this game way too fast.
We need to have a talk. You need to put better warnings over.
Anything in at the pace you're going at. So with that in mind, here is a door that will only open 4 hours from now. You'll thank me later.
There's gotta be a way out of this. You know what? There's a fire alarm going off. Okay. I think this is a good time for what I think I'm gonna do. Is I'm going to turn the volume off. I'm gonna resume the game. And we're gonna put this away for later. While we sit for 4 hours. Or at least have this running for 4 hours. And we're gonna move on to a different game. Because I'm frustrated with this game at this point. I'm a little upset. So, with it for the lack of warnings. I'd like to continue it, but it's gonna be on my own time now. So, we're going to move on to another game right now. I've got another one that I've been wanting to do that is actually a prequel to a fan favorite game of mine called How Fish Is Made. You know what? Let's actually, yeah, you know what? Let's take a look at Tingus Goose. Let me get Steam up and rolling here, and let me download that really quickly. We're gonna move over to chatting. Yeah, there's a... Are you okay if we actually do, there's a prequel to the game called Mouthwash that actually came out, a little bit before the game was actually made. It's the free prequel called How Fish is Made. That was the third of the 4 games that I was, planning to play today. So if you're okay with us doing that, and then we might play it. You know what? Let's do Tingus Goose. Play something that's at least a little bit more fun. Just to let things settle down a little bit, and then maybe we'll play How Fish is Made after. That or Liquidators, which is another game that I've been pretty interested to play. So let's see how long... no, I need... How long it'll take to download Tingus Goose. We're gonna download the demo. Alright, sleep all over. Sorry again about the photosensitivity jump scare and the lights and everything. I will try to be more diligent about that in the future. That was not what I was intending to happen, and not what I was expecting. Alright. Ooh, this is downloading pretty quick. Alright. I'm interested to see what we've got going on here. Alright, what's all this then? We're going to play this. Switch over to Tingus Goose. Okay. In order to make more game more enjoyable for Goose Spirit, the Goose may silently observe your game behavior. It's definitely one of those things that I should have done a little bit more due diligence for research for what was going to pop up for the photosensitivity. All that I knew was that there was photosensitivity, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite so aggressive. I still should have done a little bit more research into that before stepping into the game. So next time that I see something like that, I'll see if there's a way to turn it off or do anything before going forward with something, and then at the very least, do some research into when it's going to occur. So that way I can find a way to cover it over during those parts, so that way it's not bothering people. I'm going to write that down right now, so that way I don't forget to do that in the future. Because that pisses me off. Check for photosense and find out which part such turn off to know to expect things. Okay, let me just... We're gonna go right here. There we go. Alright. Let's see what we got. Tingus Goose. I'm stepping into this very, very blind. Let me actually do a quick little... Let me see if there's anything. Well, there's a little bit about birth and, bouncing babies. And it's a goose growing simulator. So I'm not seeing anything that could cause any issues, at the very least, so... Let's see what we got ourselves going into. Let me... see what we got. So, When a mommy and a daddy love each other very, very much. A goose burrows its way into one of their stomachs and gives birth to a baby. According to this. Yeah, this is how. What? I feel like I've seen these developers before. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit again. Congratulations, it's a goose. Oh, what's that noise? I'm gonna date tall geese. Very tall geese. Tall enough to kiss me. Okay. Looks like it caught the attention of a lover. Excuse me, this is a baby. Can you help Goose grow tall enough to reach it? I'm gonna turn down the music volume just a little bit. Okay. Hold it water by holding it down. Oh, I'm out of money. Oh, a tingy. Let's earn some money by clicking it. What? Clicking them will lower their endurance, but click too much, they'll burst, giving no money. What? Looks like more are coming. Let them reach the piggy bank to earn more. That seems like 4 clicks. Is good. Water faster by holding it down. That's what came out of your body. A manual. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Wings of Love, the remarkable reproduction of geese. Click here. Table of contents. Unique courtship ritual. The goose extends its neck to show affection to its lover. Before the magic of mating can begin, the goose will often spit out tingies, a testament to the wonders of the natural world. By using these resources, we can aid the goose in growing its neck, a crucial aspect of its courtship ritual. I wonder what's at the end. Collect all the pages to find out. Okay. Unlock in the roots. Sprout is ready. Let's open it. Click to open. That's new. I don't think I learned about this in high school. Turns into a blue blossom. Let's check it out. Let Tiggies playfully hit me and earn more money. Let's try moving it. Oh, nice. Tingies playing with blossoms can earn more cash. Okay. This is delightfully absurd, and I don't know how to feel about it. Tingies bounce along me. I think I actually want to flip you this way. I guess I have to. Oh, I got another page. Tingies gain money by hitting blossoms, akin to receiving positive reinforcement from caregivers. The longer goose is a more desirable lover, its beauty enhanced by its strange and captivating blossoms. As we observe the incredible variety of blossoms in nature, we come to appreciate that each one is special, with its own distinct movements and patterns. A Tinky's delicate touch graces a blossom, but only once, for reasons veiled in whimsical unpredictability. Okay. Oh. We've got more. Okay. Not sure how I feel about all this. This is delightfully interesting. Oh, whoops. Accidentally killed the Tingy. New. Playfully move Tingies to the other side. What I can do is do this. Haha! It's like a little... Okay, what is this? Blue Blossom. And just Tingy make Tingy. Okay. Not sure. Oh, we're about to... So close. I'm wondering... Okay, so that does not work, unfortunately. It's not as well. Okay. Oh, we're so close. Oh, I accidentally broke the Tingy. I like the idea of just, you can just break them somehow. Like, what a concept. Ooh, got a new... I mean, I guess. I think we've got a pathway now. Okay, yeah, you still count as being... Not sure how I feel about those. Ooh, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. Oh. I don't really have much to say here. This is just delightfully strange. There we go. Okay. We got it. Oh, we're so close. I'm starting to wonder how they're gonna structure like different levels and stuff like that. If it's just gonna be kind of one of those kind of wait and clicker type games, almost like cookie clicker type situation. The art style is reminding me of like that cat battle game. And there's another game that this is reminding me heavily of, but I can't put my finger on which one it is exactly. I wish I remembered the name of it. But it's... I think it's another type of goose game. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, this is normal. This is how biology works, guys. Every day, we learn more. Congratulations for mating the goose. It's time to let this goose go. When you're ready, say goodbye to this goose. There are more single geese waiting for our help. Following the act of mating, the sky goose departs, leaving the floor goose to bring new life into the world. From this brood, one will emerge as the next goose tree, continuing the cycle of life. Okay. Nine months later. Okay. Whoa, okay. And so the cycle continues. Are you Stu? I've definitely seen this person's animations before. Yeah, this is biology. What the what? Congratulations, another goose impregnated. Oh my gosh. See, 1 to 2 chapters. Okay. I suppose now we continue. That was fun. I see you changed your body. Reach me again. And make more babies with me. Okay. Something new will happen this time. Oh! The promise of newness. It entices me. Alright. Alright. Now that I can get 6 clicks. 5, 6, 7. I want to see how many clicks I can get out of each Tinga. I know that I can get... So I can get 7 clicks out of each Tingus. Oh! Why is it like popcorn? The roots have revealed themselves. With calcium you got from mating, we can harness permanent primordial powers. Okay. This upgrade allows Tinkies to merge. Oh! With a simple touch, 3 Tinkies trigger a remarkable process of evolution, developing the strength and resilience they need to thrive in the wild. Okay. Okay. Under every healthy goose is a cow supporting it with rich calcium. The roots are where permanent upgrades are purchased using calcium. That means with each new goose, the roots do not reset. If you cut the stem, it will grow back the root if the roots are healthy. Calcium is gained when a goose successfully mates, and you will gain more the higher it is when it does. Okay. New. Let me store 3 Tingies and I will release them at once. Okay. What are you? What do you do? Oh! It holds it? I'm so genuinely confused. Okay. Yeah. It seems like a kind of like timed point and clicker game type situation. I'm not too sure that this is one that I would spend a lot of time playing on stream type situation. But this is definitely fun. It's got a very unique charm. Get this upgrade to start getting gems. Alright, I guess I have to get this one. Alright. Your medicine is ready. Oh! close to my face. Here you can buy DNA with unique abilities and blossom to plant. Here are some gems for your first purchase. I guess we have to do this. Keep them until you fully grow the goose. Okay. Try it on some tingies. This is definitely something. Okay. Oh, I clicked it way too many times. In the curious world of feathered ambition, one figure stands apart. Dr. Food, a gentle healer with a stethoscope smile, he tends to geese with care. From mystery IV bags to blooming plants, his whisper of wellness. Ever present, ever nurturing, he is science, nature, and slightly suspicious nutrition, all in one. Choose your IV drips carefully. One enhances a different part of your goose biology. Boost your poop rate, blossom lift, or merge power. A balanced nutritional intake means faster, healthier growth. Dr. Food isn't just feeding you. He's building a masterpiece. Trust the chart, trust the drip, grow with intention. But every masterpiece has its cost. The doctor would require gems. By growing the goose, it will reward you with gems for your hard work. A taller goose is a happier one, thus the rewards will be bigger the higher it is. This gentle doctor waits with care, but even he needs supplies. By donating to the Sweaty Animal Foundation, you help fulfill his stock. Your gift brings healing not just to yourself, but to many unseen creatures. A single gem, a great act of kindness. Okay. 3... Oh, 3 clicks per click. No wonder it's... Okay, so I can only do 3 clicks, is what it's saying. What? Okay. Mom can pick me up. I'm so confused. Nice. Okay. Okay. Ooh, we're getting close already. Okay, so the big baby counts as different from the little babies. Alright. Ooh, getting close. I know that I've seen this artist around before, I think on Instagram. And I gotta admit, I really do love just the absurdity of the entire situation and the entire thing. It's definitely fun. Oh. It just is one of kind of those clicker games that I probably wouldn't spend a whole lot of time with on a stream, just because, unless there was something else that I was doing at the time, admittedly. Nope. I just need it to not do a weird cycle too much. Okay. I think I'll probably finish up this level and then we'll move on to how fish are made. And I might have that be the last game that we try tonight. Yeah, we'll probably do liquidators another time. Alright. It's kind of hard to juggle, like, which ones have you already clicked on and which ones have you not. Oh, I popped the baby. Ooh, yeah, because we're getting on 4 hours. Up. Well, didn't mean to do that, but you know, not gonna look a pop baby in the mouth. Ah, we're so close. Oh. I need to stop breaking the babies. Alright. Alright. Apparently we're doing quiet time right now. I wish I had more to say about this, but I kind of... It's a little straightforward to me. It's just absurd goose babies. Apparently I got all of my serial yapper out during Dagon. We're in quiet contemplation about the miracle of life. As I accidentally destroyed Tingus, I guess. Alright, what you got for me, bud? Oh yeah, that's fine. Yippee. I wonder if I can just like... Aha! Alright. Our medicine is ready. Oh, we have 7. I didn't realize. You know what? Right now that will be definitely useful. Hit +1 times per second. That one? I guess. Okay. Oh! Forgot that one can't handle quite as much. Alright. Ah! It always feels so close yet so far. Okay. Alright. I need need to stop doing that. I really need to stop doing that. I gotta admit, this is definitely an interesting concept. Probably keep on repeating myself. Alright. Come on. We're so close. Yeah. This game is definitely interesting. It's definitely something I might come back to on a personal note, but I don't think this is one that I would dedicate a whole lot of time to on a stream. I just don't see myself enjoying doing this except for like as a silent something or other, to be honest. But admittedly, games kind of like Cookie Clicker and stuff like that have just never really been something that's all too much interested in me. That's been of too much interest to me, I guess. It's like, I definitely like the concept of this one and think it's fun, but just with how much time that you have to dedicate to it and kind of like the amount of kind of nothing in between. Just not quite something that, I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience to dedicate to one activity for that long. Sure, let's go. We'll get started on chapter 3 and then probably move on to our last game of the night. Banana. Snick. Oh, I've seen this one. Me for real. Yeah, I've definitely seen this animation. Oh my gosh. It's interesting to know what the project behind it is now. Baby egg. Okay. 30 years later. You've unlocked a new goose lover. Each one is a different challenge to impress. Okay. I think we're gonna leave that one here. Admittedly, it was fun in its own right. Just not something that, unfortunately, I'm, patient enough to do. Alright. For our last game, we're going to be doing a game called, if I can get to it, How Fish is Made. This, as I said earlier, is the prequel to Mouthwashing. It's the first game made by the developers. It is a free game to play. I'm gonna quit that out so that way we can see that message again, actually. I can get it. There is trypophobia involved in this one. So if that isn't your thing and there's some disturbing imagery, it's very much kind of the same exact. I don't know if you have played or heard of Mouthwashing. It is the same exact kind of retro style, but it is, it's got some similar themes and ideas in it. So, there's trypophobia, mild adult things, there's, kind of illusion of choice. But it's definitely an interesting game. I'm hoping that the audio is working for it, because I've got it on the correct properties. Correct property, but we're gonna have to just see, I guess. Alright, let's get into it. There's also fish. I've been meaning to play this for a while, but I've never actually played it. Also, hi, puppy! Hello. Oh, hello. You just dropped? Huh. Tell me, are you going up or down? You'll have to make up your mind by the end. Even the oiliest of us have to, so don't flatter yourself with choice. Where am I going? Don't worry about that. So which is it? Up or down? I like blue. We're gonna go down. Are you sure? I don't know. What do we got? Can I talk to you again? What if I talk to you again? Better be sure. Ha. Better be sure. Ha. Alright. Last that you say. Alright. By the way, the machine can't talk to you, so you shouldn't talk to it. Stop laughing at me. Okay. Let's see what we got. Ooh. New person to talk to. Alright, what do we got? Hello there, friend. Who are you? Up, up, up! You look like a smart guy. Oh. Hi, kitty. Hi, Strudel. Hi, baby. Some people are asleep because we've all got work tomorrow. So I've got to go and shut the door, okay? I wouldn't be too loud. It's not. No, they know not, baby. Yeah. I'm gonna shut the door for now. I need to get out. You just let me know. You just meow. Alright, you look like a smart guy. You also know the way is one way, and the way is up, and ain't no two ways about it. I've always known it. Who's up? I never asked, I never changed, never lied. Let me hear you sing it. I like to hear it. Where you going? Where you going? Nope, I'm sticking to my decision. I'm going down. What'd you say? Come again? Down. Wonder what will happen to you. Will it hurt? Will it stop? Oh well. Up, up, up. Interesting. What is this? Oh. Beer can holder. Ah, what fortune we should meet. Do not be foiled by that one. He is lost, like so many are. We can only poetry them. I see you are in awe of my throne of inspiration. That is a plastic beer holder. It clung to me suddenly one day, much like all my ideas do. Complete and undentable. Complete and undentable. No, take it in as much as you like. It is a confirmation of my most oily brain. A second, I'm just gonna let the kitty out. What up? Here you go. Strudel. What you doing, bud? Okay, maybe. Come on. You're going out. Alright. Don't mind me. Do tell, what blind groping has brought you to your choice? Be forewarned, I did a lot of thinking to know which is indeed the correct way. All answers come to me very quickly. Such is my burden. Would you like to know? Might change your entire worldview. It is down. Yes, this I know for sure. But how? I hear you ask. Let me explain. No. It is simply too complex for you to fathom. I forget the literary word, like the thing of using incorrect words, or words that are similar but incorrect. Because it's supposed to be fathom. And it's he was correct originally with undeniable. But it is a literary like thing in media to show that a character is either essentially, obviously, you know, bluffing about intelligence or thinks that they know more than they do. And I know that it's used a little, I think it's used in Shakespeare a little bit, as well as a lot of old writers. But I'm blanking on what the actual word for the, I guess, trope is. Dang. Sometimes you forget how much you lose when you don't study something for a while. I've never ever thought of a single reason to question myself. Can you believe it? I can believe it. No, you cannot. I am elated to have saved you from making a father embarrassment of yourself. Oh gosh. Just think of me as your guide, mentor, and sage. You're welcome. I've made my decision because I've made my decision, not because of anything you've told me. My throne? No, no, no. It's not uncomfortable at all. Ugh. It seems like it's uncomfortable. For a first game of theirs, this is really interesting. I like how they've kind of kept to the style too. Alright. Let's see what else we got. Ah! Oh, hello. The way's over there. I don't know what to do. My family went up, but my best bud said that down is the correct choice. The family is big but distant in their togetherness, but the big group together is safest. It is the toppestest truth. Why would he do this to me? Down is wrong. I can feel it between my shiniest flakes. We've swam together since both of us were but scrampy things, but how do I know if he'll agree to always be my friend? No one cares about how I feel, not even him. I don't want to choose if I can't know exactly how it will turn out. Where should I go? Up with the family or down with my buddy? I'm gonna say down. Really? I've been so stupid I can't make decisions for myself. My buddy always told me as such. He'll be angry when I join him, but he always tells me how to earn his forgiveness. Always tells me how to earn his forgiveness. Aw, now I feel shitty about telling him to go down. I won't make this mistake again. Oh, how wonderful, how good, this freedom of certainty. There is no freedom of certainty. Someone else is going to turn around and tell you a different direction. I like how this game kind of analyzes choice and how fickle it really is. Because I'm making the decision to stick to my guns, but I'm sure that a lot of people have done this playthrough, and like that fish right there, have waffled between decisions because of what they're hearing from everybody. Ooh. Brain. And it's kind of that thing of like, when you don't have all the information, how do you make choices like this? Do you listen to the collective? Do you listen to the people that are around you? Do you stick to your guns? Do you make a choice and stick to your guns about something? How much are you allowed to waffle? How do you ever know what's really the true answer? What if there is no answer until you go for it? Behold, what do we do to deserve bearing witness to such glory? It must mean something, but what? What is it trying to say? Ugh. I've groped through my noggin. Abide every detail. I don't understand the message. There must be a way out of this creature's stomach. The answer is here. It looks down upon us. What is it revealing? I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna go down. Yes, yes, I see it. Can you see it? It has to be. Behold, behold. It swallowed us down, so we must keep going down. First I must get inside. I must be cleansed by this untainted substance. Join me. Wash with me in this purity. Oh, to be chosen for such sublime anointment. I truly envy him. I must become worthy. I ought to be chosen for such one. Must become worthy. Is that a sock? Oh boy. We're just gonna skip right past that. I also like kind of like how it's this beast. It's this thing larger than they understand, almost to the point of holiness. I must become worthy. Sublime anointment. But in reality, it's, you know, as an outside observer, as someone who has more information than a fish, that it's just a factory. It's kind of that thing of like worshipping things larger than what you can understand, but also kind of how capitalism and things that revolve around it have been put on a pedestal. Don't touch that. Somebody help me. Help. Ah. How do I help you? Can I even help you? I don't know how to help you. I don't think I can. Oh, please help me. It's embarrassing, but I thought I had found the gills of this creature that swallowed us, so I figured I'd wriggle my way out through them. But who would have thought? They were not gills. It's not too much of a bother. Could you unstuck me? Thank you ever so much for your kindness. Ah, wait, hold on. This is important. Whatever you do, just make sure not to touch the round, red glowing thing over there, okay? Thanks. Whew, what a relief. I thought I might be stuck here forever. Can I even help you? I can barely feel my fins. Are they still there? I don't know if I've got a choice. Can I unstick you? That's one thing that I don't know. I mean, maybe if we're able to slip through here without getting crushed. I wonder if it's possible, or if it locks us. Yeah, it locks us. We can't. In order to go forward, I think I can barely feel my fins. Are they still there? Is there a way to? If we go back, is there any way? I'm honestly not sure if we have much of a choice in the matter. I'm willing to, despite how it's probably just... No. No. I don't think we have a choice. Oh, to be chosen. I don't think we have much of a choice. I think we have to press the button. Probably... yeah, illusion of choice, huh? Sorry. I don't think there's anything I can do. Ooh. But sure have been some way to fix that and I just didn't know it. Alright. Can't entirely tell what those are. Okay. What do we got going on here? Ah, I see the trypophobia thing. Well, nothing there. I'm not seeing anything to interact with this within this area. Okay. Oh. my gosh, we're venting. This would be such a wild adventure for an actual fish. Oh, I don't like that. Alright, what do we got? Oh. Alright. This seems like a shipping container. What you got going on? Oh, a hat. What fortune that you dropped in this most productive of places. Oh, that's a parasite. Him? Why, me and my friend over here go way back. I ate his tongue and we've been coworkers ever since. That's a way of putting it. I bet you we have a lot of learnings we can share. I always say you have to get passionate about something. Me? I'm passionate about friendship. I want to be there for people as much as possible. It's like my buddy out here always says, teamwork is the soul of success. I think it's beautiful. That's a way of putting it. Well, by golly, I've been struck by the most brilliant of ideas. Would you mind if I incentivized you with the little musical stylings of my own creation? My friendo does so enjoy a little show tune here and there. Alrighty then, hold on to your gills. Okay. Who's holding grudges? Got a plan to fix my expectations. Here's to holding grudges. Got my attention seeking ideations. See you next time. You see around me twitching. Don't worry, it's safe to eat. No, it's very... Killing time, living with it. Just living with it. Oh, I didn't mean to skip that. Woohoo! Well, buddy, how are we feeling? Synced to success? Aligned with ambition? You know what? Yes, I am. No doubt about it, my buddy, my pal. I dare say I snuck a little of my core competence in ya. I'll feel it real soon, don't you worry. Oh, I'm betting there's a parasite in me now. Well, what can you do? And on we go. Oh, cool, we're in the spinal column, I guess. I really do like how they design levels and everything like that. It's visceral in a way that's so interesting. Granted, I didn't play a lot of the games that were originally designed with this kind of style. I remember we had I guess the closest we got to it was we had the original Xbox, and we used to play Star Wars KOTOR and the Battlefront, the Star Wars Battlefront. But that was kind of as close as I got to games with this kind of style. Oh, that's a... Okay. So to me, this is a lot of new. Again, mind the tags, trypophobia, or trigger warnings, I suppose, that are pinned. They remind me of lotus seed pods. Why do you deserve it? Will you be able to live with it? Try and try and try and try and try again. Ah, those double action hinges have always been there, just for you, right? You'll come back. Everyone does. Weak. You're good looking. One way or another, right? Weak. Oh. Yeah, these are lotus pods. It's interesting, because, I don't know about lotus pods themselves, but I know that lotus is, they're purifiers, in water, so they often take all of the gunk and all of the gross, and they purify the water with it. So it's interesting that it's lotus pods and lotus seeds themselves that are telling you that you don't deserve this and that you're going to look for it. They're the purifiers, and yet they seem to condemn us. Makes you wonder why. Are we the gunk? As unknowingly part of the system? Are we what needs to be cured? But at the same time, these double action hinges, we can always come back. It's like they want to condemn us, but they can't. It is time. Choose. We're gonna go down. I see. Do you understand yet? This privilege of choice that has been given to a worthless critter like you? But do we really have a choice? That is the gift, not the outcome. Did the uncertainty scare you? Or does it scare you more to know there is no choice for you at all? Then all of this would have been for nothing. Wouldn't it feel better? Don't flatter yourself. I'll tell you a secret. You've already made your choice. This is not about making a decision. This is a test of conviction. Have you strayed from your path? Have you been honest and true to your truth, even to others? Did you believe me just now? I'm just a fish in an imposing room. Good enough, right? I wouldn't eat any of those. They taste awful. At the end of the day, just a fish in an imposing room. Hey there. This is really it, huh? I'll level with ya. I ain't real sure I can do this. Did you run into that smart-talking fella earlier? He sure did seem to know what he was talking about. Here I've been always thinking I'm the biggest thing in the water. Look at me now, a big old boy shivering like a scramp out in the blue. Heh. Anyway, thought keeping track of how many fish went in either direction could help. Not sure it did at all, let me tell you. Reckon you want to hear how many have gone each way? Sure. You sure? Might be best to just follow your gut at this point. Yeah, alrighty. By my count, 199 fish have gone up, 474 have gone down. Ain't all this just worse than a loose flake in your gale? Well, hell. If I can't help myself at this point, maybe I could at least give you a better chance, partner. How about I go on and skedaddle into one of them and just holler out real loud the first thing I notice? What'd you think about that? Heck, it's so stupid it just might be genius. Look at us. Two big old oily friends making our own dang currents. Alright, hit me. Which way, partner? Down. Let me tell you before I go, partner. Made a dumb old fish feel real big again right at the end. For a small little thing, you're looking real big too right about now. That's what I'm talking about. Roo-ha! It's go time. Catch you on the flip side, partner. Alright. Time to stick to our guts. Partner, here I go, listen up. Woo-wee! It feels soft. Alright. I think I'll stick to our guts. Right at the end. It's not like it probably matters at all in the end anyways. Down we go. You know, I always hated hearing. Don't worry. A lot of people are going through the same thing. You're not alone. There's this selfish barbed wire inside my chest that coils up at that. No, my pain is more tragic, grander, deeper, if only you knew. That's not true, of course. I hate talking about it. Because I hate people who talk about it. And that's not very nice. That's not okay. That's not how you can be about all this. It's not romantic, but at least it's true. Don't worry. A lot of people are going through the same thing. That's what makes it the best USP yet. Thanks for playing. Can anything beat home cooking straight off the conveyor belt? These fish are so fresh they just might give you a little wink and jump right off the plate into your mouth. Ain't no meal that can't be kicked into high gear with the addition of nature's own flavor torpedoes. So indulge in the oiliest, saltiest sardines served every day by our ingeniously creative kitchen artists. Take pride in knowing you've helped bring these little troopers to our plates. Friends, that's not flattery. That's a fact. Alright. That was interesting. It was definitely quick, but it was neat. I don't know. It's just kind of... It's not as hard-hitting as mouthwashing. It's an interesting prequel for the illusion of choice bit, and especially when it comes to kind of the parasite, it does mirror Curly and Jimmy's relationship a lot. But yeah, I think for a first project of theirs, it was pretty good, and I like the different conversations between all the fish as well. I don't know. Dang. I've been going for 4 hours. Definitely running out of steam here at the end. Alright. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you enjoyed the games that we played so far. Oh, I forgot to flip what game we were playing. It's fine. Yeah. I'm definitely liking playing just different games and trying them all out. It's a lot of fun just to kind of jump through and see a lot of different things. I think I'll probably continue doing this. For now, though, I think that I'm going to send you guys over to Volk. Go ahead and give Volk a big stare and a big hi from me. Thank you guys again so much for joining tonight. I really do appreciate you guys being here and you guys sticking with. Yeah. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and remember, even if the choice is an illusion, stick to your convictions about things. Because in the end, what else have you got? Bye!